welcome to the Uni Games. We're here to kick off what will be the grand final of the University Series. 28 universities across Australia and New Zealand competed in 5 regions. They went through their regionals. They went through the nationals. Now we're here at the grand final. It is going to be the University of Western Australia taking on the Queensland University of Technology. I'm Spawn, joined by Choo Choos as well as Shoes down the end of the desk. We've got some people here that are currently at university and have just finished a thesis. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, it's I'm having some flashbacks when I see these university teams. Some good, some bad, some sleepless nights.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of them. It's definitely a juggle, but it's always something to look forward to coming out here and playing in the studio.
So, Choose, if you're currently at university, why the heck are you not competing in uni games? What went on there, mate? Do you just never show up to university? Is Mama
well, if I
going
was
to be
competing, I wouldn't be allowed on the analyst desk, and big fan of the analyst desk.
Long-term investment. Aaron's Choo Choos was like, I can get on the uni team, or I could hope for getting on the analyst desk.
All right. And it turned out that his hopes and dreams came true.
There you go, Aaron.
That is exactly what you want. And
who knows? They might sub me in.
Not many people know this, right? But you finished university and now you've done your honours in sports science.
Yeah, so I've just recently completed my thesis, which is good. So now I guess my grades probably copped it a little bit from doing OPL and playing solo queue, but now I can just full focus on OPL next year.
And it proves that you can still be elite in the OPL and get university done. So remember, kids, stay in school because it is very important. However, we are ready to go through today's lineups. On the blue side first, it is going to be the University of Western Australia. It's going to be IB Dodge in the top lane. Let's just call him Dodge from now on.
Yeah.
Mubu is their jungler. BMA is in the mid lane. Meme account only is their AD carry, and Crunches is their support. And I know looking down this roster that you guys know a couple of these players.
Yeah, 2 in particular, Mubu and BMA. Old friend, BMA used to be a Riot employee. He also used to... Envy BMA. I used to compete. I think we were on the same team when we were competing against BMA.
He was a jungler at that point, though.
Mid laner as well.
Was he a mid laner?
Both. He did both for Envy, yeah. So he played professionally when we didn't really have the OPL back then. It was more tournaments. He played professionally jungle and mid.
All right, cool. True. And what do we know about Mubu? He was on Sin, wasn't he?
Mubu was on Sid Academy. He was our coach, but he also had to fill. He played top lane, he played jungle, he played support, and he won all of his games.
Jeez.
Well, there we go. 100% win rate in the OCS. See whether he can pull it out today. Of course, across Summoner's Rift, it is going to be QUT who they go up against. It's going to be in the top lane. Tekka. Flick is their jungler. Unspecialized, who got an unspecialized demotion. I think he's going to be going by Z, however, in this series, is their mid lane. Feint is their AD carry. And Iggy is their support. What do we know about these guys?
So I know Tekka. He come to Vietnam with us for Rift Rivals. He was our top laner for our academy team. Yeah. Very good player. I also know Flick is a top laner. He has played. I think he's played OCS top lane, but he's going into the jungle. And Feint, me and Aaron,
definitely the standout player on this roster for us. We run into him a couple times in solo queue. Definitely a star player.
All right, cool. But we do know that during the Nationals when this happened, UWA went 10-0, I think. Undefeated. Were able to get through the whole thing. QUT had to go into the gauntlet. I think they finished 6-4 along with UNSW, but ultimately they ran the gauntlet. I mean, is form going to be a thing coming into this? Is it land jitters? Are they going to play a factor? Like, what are we looking at here?
Land jitters, definitely.
I'm a big fan of QUT because of the gauntlet run. I like a gauntlet run team, so yeah, Champions Select now.
All right, cool. As we jump into Champions Select, you can see that it is going to actually be QUT on the blue side for game number 1. Immediately targeting out BMA, Oriana Band, as well as Xayah. Obviously, they would have done some research going into this tournament. We'll see if the bans reflect that. Sejuani also taken off the board so far, guys.
Yes. Yeah, just target bans, really. Xayah into Feint. Feint, probably what we were just saying, the star player.
Sejuani is a pretty safe blind, very hard to punish, as well as Oriana. So they're banning 2 really safe blinds off the board, which UWA can just pretty much first pick, and there'll be no repercussions for that.
Yeah, you can see that UWA kind of do the same thing. They get rid of the Galio, kind of the negative lane. I know that Galio is kind of the mid laner that you can't lose too hard on. No one really beats him anymore, apart from maybe Lucian. Varus also taken away. And Cho'Gath is the last ban, with Lulu being the first pick.
Ooh, very strange.
Varus, for me, is probably a target ban. I don't think that's necessarily like a champion you need to ban. So it must be Xiaomain Comfort. And I know that the Xayah is a target ban towards Feint. He has popped off in solo queue on that champion.
All right, cool. And already you can see UWA prioritize one of the strongest junglers in the game as well. In Gragas, can also be flexed into the top lane. And Tristana locked in for Xiaomain, who I'm told actually changed his name like 2 minutes before Champions League, so that's not our fault.
No, that isn't our fault. I was going to say meme account only was Xiaomain, but I guess I didn't get there in the end, but he did it for us.
That's Xiaomain. He's
that's Xiaomain. Yes, we know Xiaomain.
Okay, I know Xiaomain.
Yes.
Okay, so I know 6 people in this tournament.
Yeah, so, the Lulu Jinx picked up. Interesting.
Lulu Jinx, that's like a big scaling composition, but then again, you're versing Gragas Tristana. I feel like giving up those two, probably S tier picks in their respective roles.
In terms of the meta, I'm not actually sure if Jinx and Lulu are the ideal first 2 picks in any draft, let alone a draft.
I mean,
expand. Why don't you like it?
Well, I think
Janna's open.
Jinx is just very immobile. It just doesn't. It takes too long to scale. It loses lane. Tristana is going to bully Jinx. Lulu, it can be like there's Blitzcrank open. You can just pick Blitzcrank and just straight destroy Lulu. So I don't think. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan at the moment.
Jarvan was also locked in as well as Corki. I'm going to jump in there because do you know what my most played champion in 80 carry is?
What is it?
It's Jinx. I'm a big Jinx fan.
No one has your mechanics spot.
I think that Jinx is really good. I think Hurricane Rapid Fire Cannon, you hit people off the screen. Like Rapid Fire Cannon, rockets, just like go for days, mate.
I'm happy to be proven wrong.
They're popping. At the same time, Cassiopeia gets taken away. Something that is known to shut down Corki, maybe. Also, just another strong blind pick in that mid lane.
Probably another Kassadin ban you'd expect from Western Australia, just because Kassadin does so well into Corki. There's the Janna ban, so they've got rid of the other Ardent Saucy, Ardent Sensor, big power spike.
Where did this Ardent Saucy thing come from?
Came from Egypt,
didn't it? Swiffer? Swiffer made the Ardent Saucy starter pack. He made a good meme on Twitter, Ardent Saucy starter pack, how to play Ardent Sensor supports. Very easy to do. Play a select few champions with shields, and then just pretty much gold per 10 and rush the item. And then hopefully you've won the video game by 15 minutes.
The video game?
See whether it actually works out that way for them, because of course Lulu will be doing that. Maybe some GP10 in there. Vladimir actually gets banned out against Z. So not going with a Kassadin ban here. Kassadin, something that you like to play into Corki, do you choose?
Especially since Corki's 80% magic, it's just that much better for Kassadin.
For me, that's quite interesting, because I think that Corki has a decent time into Vladimir. Your range, your range, like in terms of range, you're fine in the lane. You can't really get poked out. Vlad can't really just like transfuse you and pretty much just like out-sustain you. So it's an interesting ban. I would have liked to have seen the Kassadin ban, because that is actually a bad matchup.
Maybe Z, maybe this is just a target ban. Z's known for Vlad, may not play Kassadin. Thresh is the first pick coming out the second pick ban phase. Yeah,
so they get rid of one of the playmaking supports in Rakan, but Thresh, as you mentioned, is going to be locked in. Last 2 picks now for QUT. Maokai is going to be the hover and is locked in.
Double flex.
Yeah, so Jarvan can go to the top, Maokai can go to the top. Both jungle actually okay at the moment, but probably not S tier juice.
I wouldn't say it's S tier. I don't think there's many.
What would you prefer?
I'd prefer Gragas. I'm a first pick Gragas kind of guy.
On Queensland side. Which one would you prefer to be jungle?
I think you've got to go. I'd like to see maybe a Rek'Sai. I think his comfort. Coming from top lane, I think you need to just get a comfort champion that's pretty hard to abuse. Looks like he's getting the Jarvan. He does play a lot of Jarvan in the top lane, so this makes sense. He's really comfortable on the champion. He must know the limits of it. And it actually is a good match, a decent matchup into Gragas.
And they round out their comp, which is very scaling, with a Victor. Big scaling mage in that mid lane, but they have a decent amount of control. Choose, when you played on Legacy, you guys played a lot of 5-man Deathball comps. What do you reckon? 5-man Deathball coming out of QUT for game 1?
Probably. I mean, they definitely have the scaling on their side. But then again, Tristana Corki, that's pretty good as well.
And I mean, Nah, which is a final lock-in, is a lane abuser against Maokai, but Maokai doesn't lose all that hard, but also has a good scaling advantage in that split push 1v1 juice.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm actually a fan of QUT's composition. I think it's, aside from the Jinx maybe, it's a lot easier to execute that composition. It's more front to back.
Talk to me about what you mean by ease of execution.
So, with UWA's composition, it's more of siege towers and hit towers, and things can go wrong when you play those compositions. You can get flanked, TP flanks are deadly, especially with hard engage such as Jarvan and Maokai, so it's a lot easier, it's a lot harder to communicate effectively and basically set up the play that you need. Whereas if you're QUT, it's pretty much, are we 5? Yes, we're 5, let's just run straight at them and flash on them. And not necessarily flash, you can just get onto their front line, and you should win the front to back if you're not too far behind.
I feel that UWA have a better laning composition. I feel like their bot lane has a lot of kill threat, especially with Gragas.
Yep.
And especially the Nara into Maokai, which will just abuse the Maokai, maintain top priority. I really think there's a lot of pressure on this mid lane. If Corki is able to get mid priority, I feel that this Gragas will have so much control over the game and just... I mean, you know better than anyone, really. If you have 3 winning lanes, you're able to do anything you want as a jungler.
But I think this game actually comes down to, like you said, if QUT can survive lane phase. If they survive lane phase, not too many casualties, they keep their towers up. When they hit that mid to late game phase, it's going to be insane with the Ardent Sensor Jinx, the Maokai who's going to be unkillable, and the Victor damage is just level 16.
And I mean, we've seen so many times in the OPL and even the OCS that these games, even if you win the laning phase, if you can't break those structures, there is a good amount of wave clear coming out of Jinx as well as Victor, that they can just turtle it up in the base. Sure, they might lose for a while, but it is quite hard at this level to close those games out cleanly as we do jump onto Summoner's Rift for game number 1. It is the University Championships here for Oceania. It's going to be QUT taking on UWA. And teams are actually just going for a little bit of a fan out. Maybe no big engagers coming out level 1, boys.
I think in a game like this, when you've got Thresh, just assert dominance on the Rift. I reckon go for the invade.
What's going on here?
You've got the Thresh.
Why is Maokai in the mid?
Maokai is in mid.
Potential late invade coming out?
No, I think he's going to actually throw saplings into that brush. He's going to give him the super leash. So Maokai, one of the best super leashes in the game. Jarvan can start at his Raptors. Bottom lane can help with red buff, maybe.
I wouldn't know about that. My team doesn't leash me very well.
It's okay.
But apparently we're just wrong because Jarvan's left. He's like, that's it. I'm out. Maokai, you can have the Raptors. I'm staying.
Maybe he's going for the little Raptor start and just back and getting to lane, getting that early 2. That we may even see an early gank top lane. Jarvan is the king of level 2 ganking. I think if you're playing Jarvan, you need to level 2, not need to level 2 gank, but it's very efficient. And with a point and click CC with Maokai, I think that gank can pretty much return the 400 gold.
We'll see whether that does work out. As we can see right now, Gragas starting top side of the jungle, and it will be Tega heading up after he leaves a couple of saplings. And just a pretty standard start here is duos are going to actually start in lane.
Yeah, it looks like the Victor and Jinx are both running barrier, so a lot of shielding coming out of... You can definitely just see that they're just playing to lane. They just want to get through this early game like you said, Juves. Because they really shine when that Ardent Source was picked up. You can definitely see the mid-game teamfights do look favourable for them.
This is interesting because you see Gragas starting topside. He's starting on the raids, and this for me shows that he wants to go bot side. I know Mubu wants to gank that bot lane, especially when you have a Thresh into the Jinx Lulu, and that's sad to see. That's very sad to see.
That's land jitters, rather. That is land
That's the 0
jitters.
ping coming through.
That's the 0 ping coming through. We were talking about them before game. Apparently, well, both of these teams coming from Queensland and Perth.
Perth team plays on 60 ping.
Perth plays on about 60 to 80, and Queensland varied from 20 to 80. So both of these teams not used to that sweet 0 ping.
Both of the states, some of the biggest in Australia, by the way. I mean, WA just goes forever. It's like half the country.
It is.
Queensland's also quite big as well.
Non-stop, and the heat.
Yeah, just tell me about it. As we take a look at the laning phase, it looks like, as you guys were saying, couple of winning lanes in top as well as mid. But sorry to throw you under the bus here, boys. Bottom lane is looking like an absolute treat for the Jinx so far.
Yeah.
Just outraging the Tristana at this stage of the game, shoving her in with the rockets.
The thing about this lane is, sure, you may be doing well in the lane, but then Thresh can miss 6 hooks in the lane, and then as soon as he hits 1, you're dead. And that's as simple as that. So that's why I don't like the lane. But something I want to touch on as well, this Jarvan took Colossus, Courage of Colossus, so
what is Mubu doing?
He does lose a lot of early game damage in that.
Mubu is very slow on like his jungle clear at the moment, still level 2. Flick is halfway up to level 4.
He's also going to gank top lane. He's going to go over the wall. There is a ward there, but with point and click CC coming out of this Maokai, it should be pretty easy.
Ooh.
Nah,
they're not committing to that. Maybe some poke damage would be nice for his lane.
This is nice, though. This is nice for Maokai. Just getting the red buff, some good damage, releases some pressure onto this Maokai when it comes to last hitting.
The problem with this now, though, is that if you're Mubu, you know where the Jarvan is, and you just streamline for those Krugs. So sure, you get some damage on the top lane tower, but now your bot lane is in the threat of being dove because your Jinx is quite low, and you're going to lose your Krugs.
It's exactly what you said. All they needed is one good hook, and this Jinx is already half health. They're able to push them onto tower. And you can see this lane's kind of flipped on its head.
Yeah, Jinx still has biscuits, so it's not as bad as it seems. But with the lane shoving back out, this is an ideal time for Gragas to just finish the Krugs and gank this bottom lane.
That's what we've been saying. Every single lane coming out of UWA has mid lane priority.
Here we go.
Unfortunate the
Good gank over
knockup
the wall
wasn't
there.
able to hit there.
Yeah, and you can see top lane, a little bit of trading coming back from Dodge and Tekka. Nothing will come through. And Dodge is just going to continue to push in.
Pretty much what we expect to see in the Nav Maokai matchup. You just get shoved in, you get poked out. I think once Maokai makes his first base...
Big hook in the bottom lane, double flay comes out as well, but the polymorph stops all of that, and Feint actually gets some pretty good harass on the way back. Meanwhile, Flick goes in the mid lane. BMA's had to Valk twice away from him. That makes him move.
This is what I like to see, though. This is why you play Jarvan. I consider Jarvan the AD Elise. Basically, you want to have the same amount of pressure on the map that an Elise would. But
here we go, flash forward, double flay, and the jump actually comes in. Feint in big trouble. He also has to flash. Hook goes wide, and now all those creeps are just ripping them apart. Crunches take so much damage.
If that hook hits there, I think it's a good night for the Lulu
or the Jinx.
Or the Jinx, yeah. But as I was saying, yeah, I like the way that Flick's playing this early game. You just need to gank. You need to make your presence felt. So he's forced Corki pretty much into a I guess not a bad lane, but he's forced Corki to use all of his mana, and Victor can now just bully the lane.
Ideally, as the Victor, you want to be able to get to 1250 gold. You want to be able to get your Augment 1. I think that's around 50 CS. That's the 50 CS mark. So he's approaching that. Flick is definitely just hovering around mid.
The chicken steal for me hurts. When I say that, it hurts. Taking rates off a jungler is pretty much like winning the early game. You get the rates
Love chickens. Love chickens.
As soon as you hit tab, you just feel like you're up. If you can get some double golems as well, Jubes, it feels even better.
It's statistics then.
Yeah, here we go. But however, gank comes into the top lane. You can see Tekka goes early. That's a good interrupt on the bounce. However, he is going to go mega in just a second. Still some good damage out of Flick, and he's doing a good job of controlling these lanes.
The thing about what Flick's doing right now is that he's not falling behind either. So I would say that he's playing this game poorly if he's falling behind, if he's just non-stop ganking. But his pathing's actually been quite good. He's taken the raids, and now he's got his topside jungle to farm.
Yeah, he's actually pathed very nicely. But then again, Mubu has been looking at that bot lane mostly, hasn't ganked anywhere really else.
Well, Mubu has burnt the flash on the Jinx, so...
Yes, I'm looking for him to make a repeat gank. He still has the flash up, although Thresh doesn't have it, but it may be happening right now.
Yeah, you can see
steam lining for the bottom lane.
Heading into that lane, however, now with no flash available on the Thresh, it requires for him to hit the death sentence at least, or just run at someone.
Oh, good wards.
And good wards spotted out, Tubes, as you point out.
I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. I like to see that. As a jungler, when you see teams, when you're watching teams and you're seeing them place wards like that, yeah, it's good to see.
I mean, something to note, especially for the viewers, is that UWA have gone 10-0 in their season, and they've beaten Queensland University every single time these guys have met. So this early game is looking really nice, especially coming out of Flick, as you've mentioned. This guy's done a lot of work so far.
However, now gank into the mid lane, you can see Mubu comes in, however, just burns a flash. Beamer goes forward. Good return damage coming out of the Victor.
You know what I like about that is there's players, and you've said this as well, holding summoners in particular the OPL.
Oh, hold on there. Dodge goes in. Actually has to ult him back. Tekka maybe in some trouble here. Does get a good little bit of a stun there and will still have the ultimate available. However, Gragas is running towards the top lane, so he won't choose to go for it. Instead, just backs away. I think Tekka might have been able to kill him.
He won that. He had ultimate up. If he just turns with his ult there, I mean, now it's too late because Gragas is there, but I think you had that small period where he could have just turned with ult and won that.
I think he's playing a much more reserved gameplay. He doesn't... I think they understand that they scale. He doesn't necessarily want to take any fights. I mean, there was a potential solo kill there, but he's doing a really good job. He's at 6-7 CS up.
We did say...
He's going to be looking to scale.
We did say, though, if this early game goes even for QUT, they definitely have the scaling advantage. And so far, it's looking like they might even get the leads in the early game.
Yeah, and maybe a cardinal sin here because they've roamed both their AD carry and support over. That will be the exhaust. Good juke. Just jukes it out, pops down the barrier. And they didn't clear the ward as they were coming up, Juve, so maybe a little bit of waste of time. They use a lot there. That's a big investment. Jinx going to free hit that bottom turret, and they gain next to nothing.
I think that was very well played from Z there.
Yeah.
The sidestep there, he played... It was a bit of a mind game. When Thresh runs into your lane like that, it's a mind game. Do you juke? Do you keep walking? Do you stop? And he even got the exhaust out of Corki, so I guess Victor's he's in some good stead for this lane. He's got that not kill pressure, but Corki can't just disrespect him now because the exhaust is down.
I mean, I would argue he does have kill pressure. He has the ultimate available. Victor very good at either clearing out a wave or sending you back to base so he can clear out the wave with that ultimate.
Yeah, I was definitely looking at if he was going to ultimate back there, but he is able to juke the hook, escapes a big gank, and Jinx has caught up in that CS disparity at the bot lane.
So now they go for an engage. I mean, Mubu goes forward. He's only level 6, however. Jarvan goes in on the backline. Flick, he's looking to tear them apart. However, bad ultimate from Z, and they're still chasing. Crunches will go down for first blood, and that is picked up by Flick.
That was huge. So that all
Big
started...
pocket. Now Valky, sorry, just to cut you off there, mate. Z wants to go down, and they continue the fight. This time they're onto Mubu. BMA has to flash away. They miss the zap, and nothing else is really happening. However, it's a 2-for-1.
The Jinx rocket, but it's still going.
Yeah, and all of a sudden in the top lane, I mean, Dodge wants a piece of Tekkas. Tekkas just says, mate, I'm going to throw an ultimate of you. I'm getting out of here. However, does flash forward. Maybe we'll be able to catch up to him. Does not continue the chase. And all across the board, I mean, that's a big fight for QUT. However, we're not done. They're on the Inferno Drake. Will fall down, teleport coming in. Can they pick this one up? Would be a big deal if they can. They grab it. That's actually off the Jinx. And now Beamer's in trouble. If he falls down, they're going to get excited. And all of a sudden, they might actually be able to pick up Mubu as well. They're still fighting this. And Flick has now got double buff. Crunch comes in again. He flashes, gets a triple kill. And all of a sudden, this Jinx is massive. Tech is in here now with Iggy. Crunch with the double buff will be able to slow him. Don't know if he's going to be able to outrun, but he does. And it's 5 for 3, and QUT get the Infernal Drake.
That is disastrous. We now have a 4-1 Jinx on the screen. I think we were talking about the scaling coming out of Queensland. This looks really good for them right now.
We also said Feint was their star player. I think Feint is their star player. They've got 4 kills onto their star player. That was actually insane. The UWA bot lane had enough time to die, respawn, run back to the fight, and participate again. That was crazy all round. And what I like about this is after the Infernal Drake, QUT have not rested on what they got there. They've rotated, and they look at the damage on the mid tower. Maokai's rotated through.
And you said that a lot of this game is going to come down to can BMA push Victor in and get control over the map with that package. Now, not going to be the case. However, bottom lane turret does fall. That's first turret advantage picked up for UWA, and we'll give them a 400 gold lead.
They definitely needed that. I felt like if they weren't able to get that tower, this Jinx... you can see Lulu does have the Ardent Saucer already. Oh. No, sorry, she didn't.
No, she doesn't. But 5 assists, 5 assists will put you close. 5 assists will get you really close to the Ardent Sensor, but I think they value Vision, which I don't mind that. Against the Thresh, getting the Sightstone first is a pretty good adaptation if you ask me.
Okay, why against Thresh? Looking to make picks?
Yeah.
What is it?
So with Thresh, like it's all about just denying vision, controlling River, getting some deep vision, and basically just making the whole map dark so that you're scared to walk in. Champions like Lulu, Jinx, Victor, they can't really face check for vision. They don't have any mobility. And so that it makes it that much dangerous to face check, whereas like if you have the Sightstone and you get the vision down, you're safe for 3-4 minutes.
All right, cool. First, little bit of macro play coming out here. You can see Xiaomain as well as Crunches head into that top lane. However, Feint and Iggy only a step behind. Junglers will also converge up here. We might have a brawl, guys. As Flick goes in, actually starts to slap him. However, looks like that'll just be disengaged. However, Flick still wants it. Actually gets rid of him through that ultimate. Hook does come in, and unfortunately, Hayes just saved his life. Iggy, with a good flash, gets on the other side of the cast.
Yeah, that was one of those ones where the Jarvan goes in, Feint says, yeah, I'm creep scoring, guys. I'm farming for my items. And then 5 seconds later, it's like, oh, I thought you were coming in.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. Dodge goes in. Tech is there. Does manage to get a sapling toss on at the end. We'll even up that trade a little bit. However, this is the stage of the game that Nard does start to become a little bit more oppressive.
He's coming close to that Black Cleaver.
He is very close. Once he gets that Black Cleaver, the 1v1 is going to shift towards Nard. I wouldn't even say shift because Nard is winning the 1v1. But the beauty about this is that QUT, they have the resources to pretty much place wards, get Maokai out of that lane, and just tower dive top lane. Because the sums are still down on Thresh. It's very easy to make a teleport play on him. Yeah, and
Thresh, one of those supports that people think is going to be tanky, but really is just squishy for the first 30 minutes of the game.
Especially Moby
He's gone Coin and Mobies, so you don't even have the Targons to make you that little bit more tanky.
You see that the vines come out there from Maokai, however, unfortunately without Flash, can't get on top of Dodge. He's just going to run away. See Jungler was there as well, and now with that pressure, Beamer rotates topside and the duo lane looking to push down another turret.
I don't like that from the Jarvan because he's not playing to his strong side. Maokai is not his winning lane. Maokai will never win his lane. So now he has to sacrifice his 4-1 Jinx. They have to lose their tower, which was very well played by UWA. They identified Jarvan was bot lane and they made a play topside.
But we can see that, QT trying to get something back on the other side. They do a little bit of chip damage and chunk Beamer a little bit, who's lower mana. However, now Mubu wants in, just decides no, and we're all fine.
Nas got Mega looking behind tower. Right?
I agree with you really well, though, Juice. I think this Jarvan needs to be playing to this 4-1 Jinx. This Jinx is approaching her first item, either the Static Shift or a Zeal item or the Infinity Edge.
See that actually it's going to be Flick going over that wall. Mubu was already doing the camp. However, Flick says, no, they're my chickens. Takes them back for himself. And now his red buff's actually getting poached as well.
Ooh.
However, a reset, that's a big deal because all of a sudden Dodge, who's invested a lot, will be caught out and might actually fall down. He flashes on him. He says, get the hell out of my jungle.
There was a sapling in the bush spawn. Sapling in the bush. Placed it prior to. And it just slowed him completely.
Knew the red would reset.
That is the biggest feels bad. When you're walking through a bush, you're like, I've survived, boys, I'm out. Speaking of.
And with that kill,
Hooks on in the mid lane, and it looks like Beamer wants to try and clear it out. However, with Jinx and the rest of the team here, we said that this team, when it's grouped up, is going to be stronger. They knock it down.
I would almost consider one mid tower for 2 side lane towers more important.
Oh, he goes in for the engaging. You can see that they're actually in some trouble. Crunch is actually caught out here. Rocket can come through, and he might just fall. Cancel teleport as well out of dodge. That is another kill picked up for QUT.
Flick is just proactive.
Flick is having a great series, isn't he?
Flick is just
Game
everywhere.
1, popping off already. Rift Herald, this is great. This should probably break the top tier 1. Maokai's already denying a lot of CS in that bot lane. Nas already used TP. That CS is going to go to waste.
As a wise man once told me, Spawn, this is a tower in the bank. This is a tower in the bank, the Rift Herald.
Yeah.
That, of course, would be Mr. Wintendale.
Wintendale, Tim Wendell, whatever you want to call him. Legacy Carbon.
The big boss, mate. However, the game's still pretty even. I mean, UWA did a good job of being proactive early. They've lost some fights, but they're only down, 400 gold at this stage. Should they be worrying yet? Should they be sweating that 10-0 untarnished record is now at stake?
Your Corki's not on the Trinity Force. Oh, speaking of, your Corki just hit Trinity Force. Corki was probably sitting on 2.5k gold there, and Infernal Drake's up. I wonder if they're going to contest it.
Yeah, you can see he also picked up Package. You can notice that because he's just flying on the minimap. They can give up this Drake because Z isn't there. However, it looks like Flick wants to fight. What am I talking about? Of course he wants to fight. They go in for it. Actually, does get picked up, and now Beamer's on the back line. Fate will go down. Big Gnar into the wall, although he's on the wrong side. Huge play, actually, and Flick will fall down. And this is a 4v5 with Tristana just resetting absolutely everywhere. Z will now get to the fight, but he shouldn't do the Swiffer here and actually go in 1v4 because that gives up Baron, we've found out in the past. However, it does allow Iggy to disengage successfully.
Spawn, 16 minutes in, there is no Baron.
That's
so
true.
you can go for the Swiffer.
You can go for it here.
No, but one thing I would say there is, you don't need to contest that. They have Package, you have Infernal, you have Scaling, and it just didn't seem like a good thing to fight. That Mega Gnar was insane. That was a big Swift Mega Gnar.
That was a big Swift Mega Gnar, especially since Victor wasn't there, as well as we have the Runon's Hurricane on.
Oh, Hook's on, guys, and you can see that he's being pushed back, he's being shoved down, and Beamer will pick up another kill. And they're just sticking around trying to greedily contest for objectives that they should let fall. And with that, 2,700 gold is now the lead for UWA.
That's a disastrous 3 minutes. The game just flipped on its head.
The problem with
losing Dragon teamfight and mid tower.
The problem with that play is you just don't. It's not like you just lost the Infernal and a few kills. Because they have Tristana, you've lost so much more than that. You've lost 2 towers and Infernal.
Yeah, but now they want to make a play topside. They can see there's a big wave up there. Xiao Main went there, but he has no mana. He's now just rocket jumped away. And with that big wave stacking up, they'll actually go for the Rift Herald play. This might be a couple of turrets, although lots of members rotating across from UWA.
Definitely a big wave coming through. I'm surprised how long they'll stick with this because UWA have just...
They actually want to go for the dive choose. You can see Flick's in behind. However, the ulti comes out of Crunches and he even throws out a Death Sentence. TP is on behind as well, as you so aptly point out. So here comes Dodge. Tristana jumps forward and Dodge wants everyone. That's a big boomerang throwing all 3 members. He's going to continue to just try and harass them out here. However, Z is still not near the fight. You can see Dodge is just chunking them out. Maokai now here. Big rockets coming out of Jinx. And she gets the first reset. Now into the Jarvan ulti, but a big Gnar stuns all 4 members and Beamer's joined the fight. Once again, Z is nowhere to be seen. And Xiao Main goes in. Actually, he's going to fall down. So it is already a 2 for 3 in favor of QUT. And that's a 4v5. Z, he wants to come in. He wants to clean up.
He's made it.
You got to do something, mate. You were so late to the party. Beamer actually velks away, and it doesn't look like Z can get anything. He's going to continue to chase out, although he has to be careful. He's taken a lot of damage. But a 4v5, big turnaround team fight.
Who's winning this game?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just fight after fight. These Mega Gnars are saving them. Something about Os and Nas. I think we have the best Nars in the world.
Here we go. Look at this Nar coming through. Big boomerang, as you pointed out. TP comes in from Maokai. He's building into Mega Nar right now. You can see that Jinx and Lulu are just stacked on top of each other. Flashes up. Wait for it. Here we go. Big Nar ult. Victor still nowhere nearby. He comes BMR over the wall. The mid laner first to rotate. Feint, good flash, manages to survive from that rocket, but you can see this Victor isn't able to get anything done. I don't know why his ultimate is on cooldown, but they're able to just walk out of it.
I reckon that's one where you altered the wave, just so like your teammates don't ping your ult after the team fight's over.
He's the one on the team saying, we scale, let's not fight.
He's ulted the wave, and then his team's like, where's your ultimate? And I reckon he said it's, from the dragon fight, it's on cooldown. But, no, I think...
Baron, here we go.
This Dodge. Dodge is playing team fights so well. 4-man ultimate. The Baron on
Sesef actually hits here, and this is going to be a lot of damage.
He's done the juice.
Yeah, a little bit of the juice.
I did not want to say it, but you said it for me.
No, that's fine. I'll cop it on the chin. When you... Mechanics, fingers slow down a little bit. You miss the EQ. That's fine.
Yeah, we're playing Diablo together at the moment. Neither of our mechanics are
I'm playing Maid in Diablo. I'm doing pretty well. Don't worry about my mechanics.
All right.
My wrist is a bit sore. Nar in the split.
This Baron is definitely up to the new objective. I'm looking at this Jinx. I'm wondering how far she is off Infinity Edge. This Ardent Saucy is still not completed. I actually don't know what Lulu's doing. She's approaching 5,000 gold.
She's just grabbed it then.
She's just got it. Okay, so this is a big power spike for the Jinx.
This is why I didn't like Jinx in this comp though, Spawn. I feel like it just takes too long to come online. I reckon any other champion with 4 kills would just... I mean, they didn't first pick Tristana, did they?
They first picked Lulu.
So you could have picked the Tristana.
Lulu was first picked, and then was Gragas Tristana.
In my opinion, Tristana's got similar scaling, and it comes online a lot earlier.
We'll see, mate. We'll see. It's a little bit of a scuffle down in the bottom lane. Fans everywhere. Aghast that Jews would ever disagree with me, but I am play-by-play Spawn today, and you can see a little bit of a tango here, actually. Dodge wants him. Mega Nar's him away. Dodge, you're just not doing any damage anymore, mate. I don't think this is working out in your favor. Don't really know why Tekers went for that. However, now he continues the fight. Maybe he thinks, I'm just going to brawl him. I'm going to take him down, and you can see Dodge. That's a big catch. And onto Flick. Flick actually says, I'm going to go forward. I'm going to fight you, and now Feint has joined it. We'll see whether he can get any damage out. You can see some big rockets coming through, and Flick is fine. Meanwhile, Tekers has died. Don't know how, but that was a bit of a scrappy fight.
You can definitely tell the mini-Nar percentage health damage did come through, managed to pull him the victory. He is going to get a tower off this. Unfortunate, the rocket misses there.
And you can see Flick actually is coming down. And I think that's a bad move, because as you mentioned, Shoes, they're looking at Baron right now. Assistant pings are coming out, and they will tear through this one.
I think this is a good fight.
That's a lot of damage onto Baron. Already half health.
Certainly is, although now they go in, they flash forward. Feint has been caught out. However, death sentenced as well. Ooh. Big ultimate is going to come out as E, but the resets have started for Tristana. There's one, there's two. Looking for Flick now. Might actually just pick up Z for their double. And now Flick has absolutely nowhere to go. Actually, he has Flag and Drag available, so he's just stuck out over that wall. That's a 3-for-0. Overall, 4-for-0, to be honest. And that's going to be Baron picked up for UWA.
Really nice engage coming out of Mubu into the Thresh hook. I think Feint wasn't actually given any opportunity to sidestep. That was just really good CC chain coming out of UWA.
I think this Baron is a product of the 1v1 win in the bottom lane by Dodge. It forced QUT to make a decision. Do we go bot to hold the tower, or do we contest the Baron? And you can tell that they were in two minds. They decided, we'll do both. Yep. And I know in League of Legends, both doesn't work when you're one man down. So then they decided to go to the Baron to commit, and just some really nice hooks from Crunches. I think with this Baron now, it's going to be really hard for QUT to defend, because we know that this composition from UWA likes to siege towers.
Definitely. You can see the items coming out of BWA and Xiaoming. Very big items. I mean, on the other side, we do see the Infinity Edge finish for Jinx, but as we've mentioned, Tristana's just such good, strong scaling, especially mid-game team fights.
One thing I'm going to shout out is Xiaoming's hair. Same color as his jersey. I feel like he's got in the spirit of the thing. The spirit of the tournament.
Yeah,
have a look at that, blue and blue.
We have some of the best haircuts in Oz.
I rate yours at the moment, Spawn.
Do you?
I rate it. I like it a lot.
Should get that up on screen.
Please don't. I'm sitting on the desk. I'm like, paint me like one of your French girl style right now. Try to actually see this.
I'd paint you, Spawn.
Would you? Yeah. Are you a good painter?
I can do stick figures.
That's all right.
That's great.
But, the package is up too. I don't even know if they can hold this.
Yeah, so rotation is very late here, Juice.
Maokai's the only one there, and we know that he's not very good wave clear before, unless he ultis here.
Yeah, well, you can see the turret's already gone. He does ult, so it looks like they want the team fight. And you can see that they've caught out Beamer as well as Crunches. They ulti in, and Tekka now is just being very annoying on the backline, but he's just not that tanky at the moment. He goes down, and now they're onto the backline. As you can see, Xiaoming with the recess gets another one, just jumps on 2 members. Meganar comes across. That's going to be the ace, and that just might be the game.
I love it. You can hear the yelling spawn. You can hear that they're into it. That's some really good team fighting, clean team fighting from UWA.
Certainly is, and now they're onto the Nexus turret. Nexus turret 1 is going to go down. They're onto Nexus turret number 2, and in 24 minutes, UWA will continue that unbroken streak of victories and make it 11-0 in the University Championship.
Oh, I mean, game 1, it's still a best of 5. There was a lot of promise coming out of University of Technology Queensland, but I mean, it really came down. We stressed the point of how they had the stronger scaling composition, and they did take early team fights, which they did win, but it really switched around to that Dragon.
That Dragon fight for me was the turning point. When you have a scaling composition that's not yet online, you don't want to be fighting against the Corki Power Spike Trinity Force.
So talk to me about it then, because you're up in items, you're up in gold, but your team isn't stronger. How hard is it to adapt that mentality of, even though we're ahead, we're technically behind and should still wait?
So I think there's some, not general consensus, there's this knowledge in League of Legends that certain champions have really big power spikes on items. So you know yourself, when you're playing Corki, when you hit Sork Boots, Trinity Force, that for you is a very big power spike. And when you're playing Jinx and you're 4-1 and you hit the Runans but not the IE, it's not really a big power spike. Yes, you are accelerated. Yes, you are still strong in lane now, but you're not going to clean up team fights.
Yeah, especially since they opted for the Runans. I thought that they would look at farming a bit more, maybe get this Jinx a bit more items, especially since Lulu didn't have the Ardent Sense or even, but they were still looking at taking fights. I mean, Flick was really good at the engaging and like getting the team to start, but Z was nearly non-existent in that game. I don't think he really had much impact. BMA was just faster to rotate. But really, it just comes down to... This is something really easy to review when you go back into your room, is just to realize that we're the scaling composition. We don't need a fight. Let's just play the game a bit slower.
By the looks of the way that they played that game, I'd like to see them with a little bit more early game-esque, some more kill pressure in the top lane, because it looked like Tekka really wanted to fight in the top lane. Yeah. It didn't really look like he wanted that Maokai. You could tell by the way he was trying to kill the Gnar in the 1v1 the whole time. And I think it's just more about knowing what the team's good at. So when they fought that Dragon, what they didn't take into account either was Corki had package. That was a really nice package. He pretty much split the front line and the back line up with that package.
All right, cool. I do want to check in with the junglers, because I feel like Flick, very active early game, but had some questionable pathing, where Mubu kind of just sacked himself for his team. He just sat in the top lane wave and made sure they got turrets.
So one thing I will say about the pathing aspect was I thought Flick had a better 5 minutes. I thought Flick had a better 6-7 minutes. Then I think Mubu took over at 10 to 15, 20 minutes and had a better 10 to 20 minutes.
I feel like Flick nailed his pathing all early game up until he ganked the Maokai in bot lane.
Exactly.
Because we talked about how Queensland University had an early gold lead, but then they chose, and then Tristana responded by taking first tier bot, and they immediately ran top, normal macro play, except Jarvan going to the bot lane gave them that gave them a little too much tempo, and with that gold lead, they kind of rocketed ahead.
Yep. So I think a lot of people don't realize too in League of Legends is turrets are not only gold. Turrets are pressure on the map. Once the turret goes down, minion waves get pushed deeper, and you can't really push past your minion waves to do things. So that's one thing that's really underrated, and that's one thing that UWA got out of those towers.
Yeah, and that did ultimately lead to the first victory of this best of 5. However, guys, we've got potentially another 4 more games coming up, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back for game number 2 after a short break.
ready?
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the University Championships. I'm still Spawn, joined by Choo Choos as well as Juice down the end of the deck. And we actually just saw a pretty impressive game out of UWA to pick up game number 1.
I got very excited about that game. The Mega Gnar, the team fights, it was all exciting. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, I also I'm actually quite excited because I feel like Queensland still weren't really out of that game. They had like a 2K goal lead at the start, but then they did throw it over the Dragon fight. So this game 2 will be interesting.
I know that we were looking at Flick as someone that we didn't really know all that much about. And then coming out, jungling, some good pathing at the start of the game. One of the harder aspects of League of Legends to learn. Quite impressive.
I thought just top lane main, I didn't really expect much from him. But you can definitely tell he's been working on his jungling and he's been working on his pathing in particular because I thought his first 10 minutes were really good.
Feint, the other player that we were talking about from Queensland, did really well, was 4-1, didn't really get anything else from there. I think he finished with like 4-3, but yeah, definitely University of Technology, Queensland look really good.
Yeah, and on the other side of the rift, we do have to give credit because even though they fell behind early, UWA picked their fights. And, I mean, like all good teams do, as soon as they got a little advantage, they just ran away with the game.
I think what UWA did really, really, really well was they broke fights up. They didn't let them set up and play that front-to-back that we were talking about. I know front-to-back term gets overused so much, but pretty much they didn't get to use the Maokai to engage and have everyone hitting behind him, right?
There was no traditional team fight. Yeah,
there was more skirmish, package-heavy, hook hitting engages, which is like ideal for UWA.
Yeah, and at the same time, maybe a player that was a little bit lackluster, and we do have to call out, was Z. On the Victor, your job is to be able to impact these team fights. If he's going to play a more split-pushing role, I think that just get him on a little bit more of a split-pushing champion. You know, maybe something like a Talia would serve him a little bit more.
I mean, there was a lot of mid-bans because you saw BMA did pick the Corki, and there was a lot of mid-bans. We saw the Vladimir and Cassio.
Galio as well was taken off the board.
I think Galio is the champion that would suit Z quite heavily.
But they're not going to give it to him because straight away into champion select for this one. Zaya Galio banned out. So once again, you know, they're hitting Feint, they're hitting Z in that mid lane. Corki and Oriana have been taken off the board by QUT. A couple of the safer blind picks that Beamer will no longer be able to play.
Yeah, I think BMA had that, even despite the 2-3 repetitive ganks on the mid lane, BMA still had a really good game and had a very big impact. More of an impact than Z, so I think it's smart to get that off the board.
Shogath, same bans coming out of UWA.
Well, do you need to change anything? I don't think you do.
No, you don't.
When you win the game, I don't think you actually have to change anything.
When you win the game, you never change anything. You may as well pick the same champions you just won with.
Until you lose.
Until you lose. That's what we
Or
always
if it was a really close game, like I know they got leads. I know QUT got leads, slight leads, but I don't think there was anything that was wrong with the pick ban, so I think you do keep it the same.
All right, cool, and they will keep it the same for now. QUT, however, they changed it up. This time they get rid of the Lulu, and it's going to be Sejuani, someone, Juves, that you said is very hard to punish in the jungle right now.
So with the passive, the way Sejuani's passive works, you pretty much have like slow immunity as well as getting
a lot of
resistances for 2 seconds or 3 seconds. So pretty much face check with Sejuani, copy hit to the head, dash out, you won't take much damage, very hard to punish. First clear, you do get quite low. After level 3 clear, you're fine.
I like this. Kalista Thresh. Switching it over from the Lulu Jinx, this is a complete polar opposite coming out of Queensland View.
Yeah, the last comp a little bit more scaling heavy. This time, you have to say the Kalista Thresh still one of the best bully lanes in the game.
It's just kill lane. So I think when they went back to their room, they identified that they laned really well and played really well, I think, as a bot lane. So they said, why not? I've got confidence. We've played well. Just give me the Kalista Thresh. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, and Alistar will be locked in for Crunchers, whose engages were already on point. Now with the Trampling Cow, see whether he can replicate some of his match 1 feats. And what are we expecting to come out here, Choose? You reckon this is Beamer's pick, or do you think that they'll just go for Tristana? There we go.
There you go. Tristana. I'll be surprised if they pick jungler here, because you may see Z opt for one of his mid lane champions. Cassio and Vlad were banned out in the previous pick ban. He may opt for one of those and starting to ban BMA's Shampoo.
Historically, Tristan is good into Kalista, and there goes the Gragas. I don't know why I don't know why QUT is not putting a priority on Gragas. I mean, Kalista Thresh is obviously like a really good pick, but I know last pick ban they let Gragas get through.
Yep.
I really like Gragas. I think Gragas is
Flicks Jarvan.
Flicks Jarvan was good, but I think Gragas is.
It works really well, but yeah, as you said,
I think Gragas is like just like in that tier, you know, that tier above.
He's by himself, right?
Yeah.
He's clears the best. With Flash, he's probably got the best ganks. Like,
okay, so Jarvan's playstyle is linear. It's you have one thing you do, and that's like you Dragon Flag in, and you engage. Gragas has that, has disengage, has skirmish potential, has everything in his kit.
There's a lot of mid lane bans coming out now. Ari, Vladimir. We may see the Cassio coming out of Western Australia. I'll be surprised if we see... I'm not sure. BMA, Cassidon? Oh, the Gnar. Definitely, okay.
Good ban,
Dodger's Gnar was very strong that game.
I think that's a really good ban.
now they can blind pick something like the Maokai if they want again, and counter pick for mid lane, see whether that is going to be the strategy waiting on the last ban of University of Western Australia right now.
If you really like the Maokai, I don't think there's anything that can punish you now that unless you play Fiora. But you have to play Fiora well. It's not just like, it is a free lane, but like Fiora's at that point where it's just not, you can't just pick it and abuse it. You actually have to be good at Fiora.
Lucian, Cassio's up. I think Cassio is fine. You banned a lot of mid champions.
Cassio, for me, is one of the safest blinds in the meta right now.
Definitely.
If you're a good Cassio player.
The issue is you're versing Cassio into Alistar Sejuani, which is quite difficult.
Shen,
just because they're so beefy, especially Alistar's ability to nullify so much damage with his ultimate.
What do you like about Shen here, Juice? Is it the kill lane's bottom?
Well, so you're putting a lot of emphasis on the bottom lane here, right, with the Kalista Thresh. Like, you just want to be fighting all the time. And then that Shen just offers you that extra dive potential, especially with Gragas. Level 6, I want to see 5-man bot. Maybe not 5, depending on the mid laner. I want to see 4-man bot lane and just snowball this game from level 6 onwards. Because QUT showed last game they can do that.
Okay, so Jax into Shen is pretty good for Jax. That is a time bomb. As well as the Cassio does go into BMA.
It's a time bomb, but we saw in the OPL, Praedyth actually solo killing Ceres in that matchup.
Yeah.
So despite it being a good matchup, Shen is fine. Completely fine.
And with the Tiamat purchase, or even now Barmy Cinder being 900 gold, you still have the pushing advantage, which has always hurt Jax, because it means you can push the lane and go wherever you want. I was going to say I want to see LeBlanc. Gangplank, similar kind of vein.
Okay.
In the fact that now you have someone that can go into the side lanes
and
if you so want to, and Shen can help him out. I mean, that's a 2-on-1.
They are diving bot lane, like you said. Kalista, Thresh, Gragas, Gangplank ult. With Shen ult.
How does JP lane against Cassio?
I don't think he does. I think he dies, doesn't he?
Well, I feel like
you can't lane.
If he gets hit by 1 Q from Cassio,
your trade back,
he's in trouble.
Your trade back is just throwing Gangplank Q, and then if Cassio lands her Q, which she will, you're dead.
As long as Gangplank has a barrel set up to stop the trade coming out of Cassio, he'll be able to escape the all-in potential coming out of BMA.
What if Z's just some Gangplank god and we're not aware of it?
I mean,
that would be great, because I love watching Gangplank players.
It just looks so clean. Putting up the 2 barrels, hitting them, and then just dropping the 3rd is just clean.
What I really don't like is he's running Barrier.
Oh.
Barrier is going to kill him levels 1 to 4.
I hope he changes it.
Remember that sometimes, and this isn't on our end, sometimes it's just the client, that doesn't change from the game
Yes.
before. So
Yeah,
he
yes.
could have exhaust or TP, which I would prefer.
He
I hope he
needs
does.
TP because if he you'll fall behind early, levels 1 to 4. That's just normal with game playing. But if he does has the teleport, he'll be able to nullify that CS loss.
Was that the special pick? Was that the special pick?
Yes, it was.
We spoke to the players
Yes.
before the game, and they said they had a special pick, especially on 0
There you go.
ping, because they're coming from, well, this player in particular, Z's coming from 60 ping, and so he was really excited to get on that 0 ping gangplank. I think that's what the special pick was.
But is that going to muck him up? Because if you play 60 pin gangplank, how do you play 0 pin gangplank? It was like when I used to play Alistar and I would play Ali Jungle on NA. I came to O's and I could not play Alistar for like
We
6
advised
months.
them all before they played this series. You're given about 5-6 minutes before you have to jump into game. He's been on practice tool, smashing this champion. So you would think 6 minutes in practice tool, practicing your triple barrels. We're about to find out how well
Oh,
he
the
does.
invade. I like it. I respect it. I said to Choo-Choo's before the game, I said 0 ping Lee Sin is the hardest thing to do when you've come from 30 to 60 ping.
Yep.
And he doesn't believe me. He thinks I'm just fat fingering bad mechanic player.
No,
But I'll have you know,
repeat to
Aaron.
everyone what you said.
Sorry?
So Juves is under the understanding that on coming from 30 to 0 ping, when you flash R on Lee Sin, he
Flash or Flash R?
Kick R.
kick R. He
No,
is kick
R
R.
flash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
R flash. You believe that you'll flash before you kick because the
No,
ping.
sometimes you can mess it up. 'cause you're
Sometimes
used
you
to
can
the
mess
ping.
it up, but that's simply because you press the buttons in the
All right,
wrong
I'm
order.
bad. I'm bad. I get
That's
it.
not-
What's happening this game?
I mean, you brought it up. I'm just
See,
trying
I
to
was the
fulfill-
opposite. I came to Riot. Obviously, I lived in Melbourne beforehand. Riot.
Shout out Melbourne.
Yeah. Best. How good was Origin this year?
It was great.
We won.
We won.
Yeah.
You guys did all right.
Yeah. Commiserations. At the same time, Melbourne's not in this one, so we can't win this.
We've got to let someone
say
else
your
win
point,
something,
Jake.
Swan. We've got to let someone
sorry,
else
I was going to say, I played like 400 Lee Sin games, and I'd never played him before because it was just so much more fun. However, we can see blue buff start for Flick. It's going to be bottom lane start for Mubu, and a W start coming out of Gragas. What's the go there, Jude?
You know, I think that's one of those ones where he's walked out of base, read the abilities, and he saw, oh, damage reduction. Why aren't I taking this? And then he's going to realize later that no one ever in the world does that.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's
don't
not-
get me
it's
wrong.
not disastrous.
It's not bad. It's just the way I look at League of Legends is when I go on pro builds and I see all the Korean junglers doing one thing, well, they must be doing it for a reason.
We do see that this Kalista and Thresh were able to get to the lane faster, so they are going to get early priority. Oh, that mid lane. You do not want to see. He
just
does
got
have
Faker.
TP. He does have TP, thank the Lord.
You know what the faker is, Spawn?
What?
Do you know what we refer to when we say he just got fakered?
Nah.
When you play Cassio at level 1 and you just run at him, Twin Fang, Twin Fang, Twin Fang, and you pop Corrupting at level 1 and you just win your lane from there. He got fakered. And that's what you do in the Cassio into LeBlanc matchup, and I'm going to assume it's the same in Gangplank because I never see a Gangplank mid anymore, and it just does not look like it's a fun time, and they picked into this lane Spawn.
However, the
Beamer's
big
out of
thing
mana.
is he's out of mana. That's what I was going to say. So whilst he's bullying right now, there's only so long you can bully for before you have to go back.
And that's something I don't like about corrupting Cassio, is Doran's Ring ensures that when you kill a creep with your E, Twin Fang, you'll get the mana back, but you'll also get 4 mana with your Doran's Ring passive. But Corrupting Potion doesn't give you mana back.
Ooh, we might see a skirmish here.
Yeah, Mubu goes for a cheeky invade. Maybe knows that Flick has graded out on what is the longest jungling path of all time. You can see Mubu goes in, and Flick is still clearing out Raptors, but now we'll be able to spot him, Juve, so he can see that
gonna
it's
be
in the brush.
close.
He knows it. No, he should know it's still alive. Flick, the icon is still there. Get in the brush, buddy, and the flash will come through. Mubu now has to race him towards that cone. Flash over Flick. Nah, he's on the other
Disastrous.
side.
Do you know what the worst part about that was for me? Was Sejuani used her gap closer, her escape tool, to do damage to the red buff. That only does like 60 damage if you're lucky on a good day.
However, now they're going to fight each other. They bump into each other. You can see that now Flick does a lot of damage. He goes back into him.
He queued in. This guy's a madman.
Mumu has got
Knockup.
very
I don't know.
brave insides.
He does. And he's going for his raid. He's going for his wolves.
Oh, I think
still
this is a
going.
little bit too
It's still
far.
going.
I mean, you can see that he wants him. He does. This time he uses
First
his Q
defensive
away.
Q.
I
of
would
the game.
actually say this is worth for Flick. He's going to be able to get 2 camps off this. Flick is Mubu is forced to base. I would like him to take Gromp as well.
I don't know about you. I don't like losing my red buff. My team knows.
A lot of missing pings coming out.
My team knows if I lose my blue or red, it's game over.
Oh, Iggy there actually whiffs it. Now the big engage comes out
Good
of Crunch's flash. However, he is stunned up, and this will be first blood going over to the Tristana. Xiaomane Very well played. Has a lot of spears in him now, however. Needs to be
Ooh.
careful.
Ooh.
Oh, he just miscalculated by half a spear.
I was about to say, Feint, who are you trying to kill here? He was putting spears into both Alistar and Tristana. That was very close to being a 1-for-1.
One thing I will say, Spawn, is Iggy did a sin. He made a big sin.
What did he do?
He ignited the Alistar when he died.
Ooh, you don't burn summoner spells when you're dead, Jude.
Well, you don't do it when the Ali's full health either.
But if you're just going to die, just die. Don't flash. Don't burn summoner
Honourable
spells.
death. Don't make the cardinal sin. Just honourable
His
death.
flash was nice. I like the flash.
That brought them
he
deeper.
forced
I mean, in
Tristana.
general.
Yes. I like that. Well, I mean, look, Tristana has no flash. Alistar, no flash. Flick, we praise him. Will he see that opportunity?
See whether he does. You can see he is currently just hard farming. Do you enjoy a good hard farm on Gragas?
I hate a farm in the jungle, period. That's why they made catch-up. They made catch-up mechanic for me. So me and Spooks, we were talking the other day, and we said, how about this for a theory, Spawn? As a jungler, farm your first few camps. Don't farm anymore. Power gank, get leads in lanes. And then when you base, that's fine. Just farm a few jungle camps and you'll be the same level as the enemy jungler. While the enemy jungler is just power farmed.
That's what happens.
Look at the CS disparity in mid lane.
I like that theory.
It's a good theory.
Yeah.
That's what I've prided myself on. Luckily this season I've got catch-up mechanics, so I look like a decent player.
The other theory I like is a blank theory, which is I'm not even going to jungle. I'm just going to stop you from jungling, and my lanes are better than your lanes.
Yeah,
unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. But
That's what you do, Brett. That's what you do, Jubes.
Yeah.
Good laters.
I've got
You just
Oath
spam laugh at the enemy jungler.
I thought Carbon was Osaker.
He
He won 1-1v1.
Yeah, how many 1v1s did you win?
I won the same as he
I've
did.
actually solo killed you 3 times.
Oh, here we go.
here we
Gank's
go.
actually coming in. Beamer in big trouble. Oh, he didn't flash there. He shorts it. And now all of a sudden, Beamer will be able to get out.
He's
has
dead.
no mana.
He has flash.
We'll see whether he's able to flash the wall. Flick's going with him. And Beamer does get out. Flick, if you just had a flash, I think you kill him.
Yeah, I mean, you really didn't even have to flash. Just take that one more step. Where was he going there? He was walking to the enemy chickens. I don't even think you had to just walk. Just get there. Just get there. You've got time. The gangplank holds down.
This is okay. Gragas still
He
has
had
flash.
boots as well, actually. I agree with you now. I didn't see the boots.
Well,
Boots versus Cassio.
Cassio doesn't have boots.
Yeah,
She can't get them.
I know, but Flick does have them, so he's quicker at the moment.
Here we go. Sheen picked up for gameplay. I will be curious to see what B-May goes for. Double tier. That's a new one.
He's a misclick.
Little
Zero
bit
ping. He
upset.
wasn't used to it. That was a zero ping purchase right there.
Certainly was.
You reckon?
Yeah, he was
The
just right
zero
clicking,
ping.
and then he's usually in Perth. They've got to click it a few times for it to register.
You
Look
can
at this
see
lane.
top
Ooh,
lane.
good trade.
See him
Shen
at-
wins this.
Wait, check.
What is going on? Oh, what is...
Oh, he's outplayed him. He got his flash out of him. That's what he was doing.
Hey,
he was
look at
just
the wave
baiting him,
he's about to
boys.
miss. That is a massive
Wow.
wave. This lane has gone
See?
straight into Shen's favor.
This is what I'm talking about. The Shen Jax matchup. Everyone.
What are you talking about?
No, wait. This is a good Jax matchup, but every matchup is a good Jax matchup when you get items.
Yeah.
For now, while Shen can put down the field, what's the field?
Dodge field? Yeah.
Dodge field. You can't do damage, and Jax does damage from auto attacks. Choo-choos.
Yes, I do agree that pretty much all of Jack's damage comes from auto attacks. And Shen has an ability that stops all auto attacks.
So early game.
But that spell on Shen is about 25-second cooldown.
Yeah.
It's really long. Plus,
Here we go. A little bit of a gank. He whiffs the barrel. Party keg
Still
comes
going.
out, and at the same time, Beamer still might be in some
That's
trouble.
still-
That's a lovely keg chain that is lined up.
Z.
He has just two kegged him. What a play.
the 2
Z.
kegs kill secure. The kill does go into Flick though, and he still has flash, so we may see a repeat gank.
If Fish was here, he'd say 1 keg, 2 keg, good night. Instead of the left, right.
Left keg, right keg, good night. There we go.
There you go.
And good guy gives over the 5 gold. That's a one person. If I'm a jungler, I'll give my little chickens to his
I
gameplay.
would give nothing. Nothing. You take my chickens, I'm not playing anymore. But one thing
Jesus.
that I would say is that Flick has had another good 10 minutes.
Yep. I agree. He's level 7. He's out pathing Mubu. He's been more active. And one more time, Tekka wants in, and you can see that he's going for a fight. Grasp of the Undying doing work in these little 1v1s. However, now Sejuani ult comes out. He might be in some trouble. Tekka, you need to be able to flash away. Gets it out, but will fall down. obviously didn't have that taunt available, and now he will miss the big wave.
You know what the worst part about that was? He knew Sejuani was there. He backed off for the ward, and it just wasn't enough. I think, like, you're trying to play it right.
Oh, Gangplank ult comes out. This actually might be big. Dodge falls very low, and all those creeps will die. So, able to get a little bit more gold, a little bit more experience.
I think the most important thing about that was he held the tower. That's the biggest thing for me, is he kept the top lane tower up.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking about that. He was thinking about the gold and the experience.
Look at this mid lane now. Now that we've seen the Sheen pick up and the kill, Cassio also has no flash, but there's a lot more respect. This Gangplank is a much easier spot.
I think it gets a lot worse now for him, though. I think...
Oh, here we go. A little bit of a
Ultimate,
engage here. And you
ultimate
can see
about
the
to
keg's
come up.
already there. He does get it, but will be able to be cleansed away. Third keg comes out. Only his
Nice.
movement,
Oh,
but that's a great ult. Now comes Tekka. He will be able to pick up that kill. What are you guys laughing at?
Gragas was just doing a little...
Does anyone in Twitch chat see that?
I don't know what Gragas was doing there, but it looked like he was discoing a little bit.
I reckon.
He's a party man. He's had a
a
couple
party
of
man.
party kegs.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of 360s on some of his
Oh,
rips.
you know what I've just realised? We got 2 keg members on one team.
We know.
Oh, we do too.
That's insane.
There we go.
Good
That's
pick
the
ban,
real
QUT.
draft.
Good pick ban.
Good pick ban.
All right, what are we looking at, boys? Around Summoner's Rift. Laning phases once again gone very well for QUT.
They have accelerated this gang. Not only accelerated Gangplank, look how far behind they put Cassio. That's 2 levels. And let me tell you, Spawn, there's no catch-up mechanic in the mid lane.
He should go take a couple of jungle camps.
He
Get
should.
himself back in the game.
He should.
And you know what's really bad? He just got blue buff.
He did.
Cassio just lost a
That-
fresh blue buff.
There's more value in that than we think.
Yeah, certainly is.
It actually is.
We're-
Cassio blue buff
Yeah.
is... No, not even the mana. Just the 10% CDR is huge on Cassio.
Yeah.
See whether it does come into a major play. Flick deploying down to the bottom lane. You can see Mubu's already there. Good deep vision actually coming out from Tekka again. I've liked the vision control out of QUT.
I taught him that. One thing I do like is that the QUT bot lane, despite that poor early start, is still winning that lane.
Yep.
Well, I wouldn't say winning. They're probably still down gold because the first blood onto Tristana, as we can see, they're down 200 gold. But ooh, trade in the top lane.
Great taunt, actually. Will get the Counter-Strike out. Maybe
trade.
now I can start smacking him again.
Oh,
Gets the slow.
here we go.
And all of a sudden, fight is on. You can see ultimate burnt
Great
out
trade.
of dodge. And this Shen is doing well in the matchup still.
He's doing very well. So once that ultimate dies down from dodge and Shen taunt comes back up, he can just re-engage. And if he jukes the Counter-Strike, he has kill pressure.
This is one. He's looking on the gank in the mid lane, maybe. Or a dive on the top lane.
See whether he does go for it. I think that's risky diving at Shen. You can see already
Dragon.
they recognize it. They go towards Dragon. They're going to pick themselves up a nice objective.
That's some good objective control. I actually really like that. They've actually identified that the UWA bot lane's off base, bot lane's pushed into tower, and they've gone for the Dragon. Mountain Drake.
If Shen lives this, though, this is a big win.
Where's he going? He's going for a trip.
Actually, just
He has
taking
no
some money
idea.
for it. He has no idea that they're there. However, does taunt
Flash.
away. Beam is coming up. That's an ulti. That is going to be a kill picked up for sure. Although drops the Gangplank ulti. I think
like
that's
that.
a little bit strange. I think they should have used it to dive bottom, maybe, Jubes.
I don't like that at all. See, yeah, if you drop the ultimate here, you may not get a kill, but I don't.
down here.
It's not necessarily about the kill here. It's about just the chunk
Yeah.
and getting the pressure on that tower. They still may get it here. Good rotation from Z.
This is a race. First blood tower, top lane, Jackson, Sejuani versus 4 people. This should easily fall.
Gangplank
I
ulti,
think they win this.
Gangplank E, however, does do a lot of damage from the passive.
This is
See whether he
close.
starts hitting these kegs. It's going to be very close, boys. You can see that it actually looks like they're going to win a bottom lane. Hit the damn turret, and they get it by a hair.
There we go.
You know what? If Gangplank ulti top lane, they may not even have got that tower.
That's true.
If you had that ultimate
That is
up,
very true. That is
and
a
then
good
you're
point.
in an even better spot now. But anyway,
Still up 500 gold with a good scaling comp. Maybe not the 1-4 that they want because Jax will continue to explode. However, across the rift, they can now leave Gangplank in that bottom lane. He can just clear out at the turret.
First item power spikes coming through. Tristana IE finished.
I like to call this the Rollmeister special. This is where your bot lane tower's gone down at 10 minutes. Now Gangplank is just AFK side lane.
Yeah.
I think he AFK side lane for 2-3 items now. I think it's like, all right, boys, I have ulti off cooldown. You guys can fight, and I'm not coming.
Yep.
I think that's what happens now. And Gangplank
Well, that's
just
what he
sits
did
there.
last game. He just didn't have a global ultimate.
Yeah, and he was playing a champ. Yeah, he was actually.
Victor. He was playing Victor. So
yeah.
it was just AFK mid laning, actually. It just wasn't rotating.
This is actually really good. You're now on a champion that has impact globally with your ultimate. So he doesn't need to be at these team fights anymore.
In the same sense, though, okay.
Here we go. Flick uses that body slam forward. Takes no damage at this stage. Beamer's just been set too far behind. Now they'll go in. Ulti hits, knocks him to the side. That's actually good. Flashes onto Beamer, rips him back. What are you doing, Fate?
Oh, you hate seeing that.
I was about to say that was a really nice flash play coming out of Iggy. Even though Casio had flash up, he may have been able to hit that hook over the wall.
Kalista users all around the world. I know my bot lane had these problems. And then they eventually, their code language was up, and up just mean ulti me.
Okay. We saw a couple of times that Raze didn't ulti Ejim out of his engages when he was playing Rakan, and he just died. But sometimes I think Ejim runs too far forward, so I'm not going to blame Quinny on that, actually.
Tegan also had a banger tweet where it was referring to Ejim dyeing his hair a shade darker every time he got Kalista ultied out.
Yeah.
That's a good tweet.
We can see now that a little bit of pressure going down onto this blue buff from
Gangplank's laning.
Iggy and Flick.
Gangplank's laning into the duo, bottom lane.
This is scary, actually. Alistar will... I think he'll die.
You reckon?
Yeah, he'll die. 100%.
I reckon Flash and Fruit, you can't kill a Gangplank. And a Shen ult.
Oh, that's true.
And
Shen
Gangplank ulti. I don't think you can kill this Gangplank anymore.
I think if GP dies, he's severely misplayed.
If Alistar goes around long way and this wave does crash, this Tristana has more than enough damage.
One thing to talk about, though, Casio
Here we go.
has...
Here we go.
All right, let's see who's right. He's getting chunked a little bit. Eats the fruit. That's too early. Will drop the ultimate. Where is Shen? Doesn't come through at all.
Aaron. Choo-choo.
I won't take that. I won't take that.
We said if Shen ulted.
Yeah, fair enough.
I reckon that's a 1-for-1 trade if Shen ults at the best.
Then again, why was Tristana tanking the tower? How did she get aggro?
I don't know. And why did he eat fruit so early?
There's a lot of questions,
Why didn't he
but we don't
flash
have
the headbutt
answers, so we must move on.
We must move on. You are correct. This is going to be a
Losing this
second
tower
turret
isn't
going
that
down.
bad, but I do want them to make a proactive play. This Casio doesn't have flash, and she's way too far off the lane.
So cool. We'll see whether they go for it.
Gragas can flash
What is
here.
he doing
Flash
right
here, Gragas.
now?
What?
Oh,
Beamer, you were playing with fire, my friend.
You can see Flick looking for it.
Look at him.
he really wants it. Oh, and he's preemptively used the grounded as
Give
well.
the-
Here
there
we
we
go.
go.
Actually gets the cask out, knocks him back, but that's a big ulti out of Beamer.
They
And
can't do
Feint
it.
is now in trouble. Sejuani ult comes in as well. Feint's already flashed. Boys, this might have all gone wrong. But Beamer's still in big trouble, does pop the heal, and you can see already that Alistar is here. They go back in, they've re-engaged, and a big counter-strike coming out of Dodge. Will pick up the first kill, and now all of a sudden Tekka is in trouble. Dodgefield goes down, and he will use the slow out of his dagger to get away. But a good team fight coming out of UWA.
It was so surprising. How did no one... I can't believe Casio hit a 3-man petrifying gaze there. That's kind
Oh, the
that's
explosion.
disastrous. But
Oh,
here
that's
comes
zero
E.
pink kegs. Zero pink kegs.
is.
He mucked that one up.
I think, you know why I think that play went so bad? Well, I know why it went so bad. Gragas just hesitated on the ultimate. So, like, on Gragas, you can E flash R, but in the same motion so that the mid laner can't react.
Definitely, yeah.
So
If
it
you
was just way
auto
too
attack
slow.
in between, which is what you used to do for maximum
Yep.
damage with your keg, they can flash it every
Here we
time.
go.
So let's
So you'll
take a
see
look. Juice, walk us through this one.
So Gragas is walking around the miasma as you do. Really good E-flash, but then he walks forward. There's just no ultimate. That allows Casio to get a 3-man ultimate and just basically survive, and this is why it goes downhill. Because if he ulti straight away, Casio's just going to get blown up. Really good follow-up from Alistar. As you can see, Tristana's running up river,
Big
getting chased by
pulverize.
Gangplank. Look at the stun. Jack's counter-strike, 3-man, 2-man, dead. And it's just clean. It's Janitor duties now, really.
Yeah, it certainly is. The other thing I want to point out is a Feint flashed a little bit too early for my liking.
Yeah.
He didn't have turret aggro. He thought he did. It was actually on Flick. It probably would have picked up a kill on Beamer there if he had his flash still available. However, beggars can't be choosers.
It was a game of chicken and BMA won.
Yeah, agree. Do
like
you
the
lose
idea,
games
though.
of chicken? I don't reckon you've lost a game of chicken ever.
No, but I reckon I've lost a few games from chicken. I wasn't scared, not even once.
Same thing. Here we go. 3 people in mid lane there.
This time Beamer without the heal. Does have the ultimate, but
Great
once
play.
again, oh.
Game playing goals.
See, I'd rather the Kalista ult cooldown than the Gangplank ult cooldown for me.
Yeah, and
What
once
is
again,
this?
jumps in
What
here.
is this?
We'll get the reset, but the Gangplank is trying to dish out some damage. We'll see whether he has it. Actually pushes him back, jumps in, flashes forward, and gets outplayed. Xiaomain styles on Z.
He needed to flash into the next brush. Flash into the next brush, your Q's off cooldown. Then you can win that. Drop a barrel.
I was about to say, Tristana got very lucky with her crits in that all-in.
He hit 2 in a row,
I don't
didn't
know
he?
if Zhao Meng knew that he was going to win that trade with the crits he pulled off, but that was a very close 1v1.
Choose. You miss 100% of the chances you never take.
That is true. A wise man once said that.
Thanks, brother.
Abraham Lincoln. Wayne Gretzky, I think it actually was.
I don't know who it was. I've just heard it a lot of times, and I keep making my own
iterations.
Yeah.
Oh, nice ultimate use from Iggy. They're trying to stop him from getting in. However, they do miss that spot. Now the Alistar's in. That's a big pole. They keep Dodge out. However, Callista is just free hitting on the back end. That's a first reset. Here goes the second one. And now it's a 3v3. Big ulti coming out there. Iggy's in the middle of them. However, they will fall down. Xiaoming may get this reset. Although he's torn it up. Big flash body slam. No, just body slam coming out of Flick. But Beamer is still putting in work. He's Uma, unfortunately. And Mubu, if you go with that wall, mate, you got... Oh, he missed it! Someone has to kill Mubu. He's a fish in a barrel. Just give it to Feint. They will. 2-0-2 now for the Callista.
Dead even gold now.
That's what we were talking about on the desk beforehand. Identifying your power spikes. Sure, you may be ahead, but if you don't have your core items, you're definitely weaker. Callista has her core item. GP wasn't even there. Shen had core item. And it just went downhill completely. You're trying to team fight on a Jax that has one item.
I want to say Tekka, the big Shen taunt, hit 3 people, locked down to Tristana.
That was huge, actually.
Yes,
also want to shout out that Callista ult out of Iggy and Feint, because that one, I actually thought Iggy had died, but he got saved beautifully and then thrown into 2 for a double man flay as well.
Yep. I just think that UWA just fast forwarded the game when they didn't need to.
So it's a 1,300 gold lead now over to QUT. They break open that mid lane turret, that all-important turret to control the game. And you can see that Jack's just back to a top lane.
Shen 100% wins this 1v1 now. I'm convinced. As soon as you hit that Bramble Vest, you're in for a good time against Jax for a short period of time. You don't win the extended fight, don't get me wrong, but you definitely win the 1v1 if you play it properly.
Okay. I'm not too sure about that one.
Who's the better top lane player? If I put you guys on Summoner's Rift right now.
I'm a Jax one trick, so I know what Bramble Vest does.
I play a fair amount of Jax.
I'm a 8-game Jax, 7 wins.
Ooh.
May have a negative KDA, but I'll tell you, I'll split push us to victory.
You're the annoying Fiora player without playing Fiora.
Yeah, you're
I'm the guy
that still wins me the game, but you don't communicate.
I'm the guy that gets reported for being AFK, but then they realise after they reported me, we won the game.
That's all that is important. The
That's
W.
all that is
as long as you're polite and you're playing a legit strat in League of Legends.
No point playing jungle in League of Legends at the moment in solo queue. Just play top lane and mid lane. Maybe
there you go. Heard it here. Here we go. Jack's game plank.
GP just used his orange.
Is going to get one shot.
I think he's going to get rinsed here as well. He's walked close to the brush, and here we go. Jax jumps on him. That is going to be him stopping the keg as well, and he just gets Counter-Strike. He's running very quickly, but he's still going to fall down. Flash is not available, and that's a nice 1v1 out of dodge.
That's 2 times Shazzy now. I think third. Fool me once. What is that? Fool me once.
Shame on me.
Shame on me. Fool me twice.
Shame on you. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me.
Yep. And then the third time. Hopefully it doesn't happen a third time.
Hopefully not. You can see that Tekka's had his back stopped here by crunches. Xiaoming didn't want anything to do with that, however.
I feel like Gameplank is no safe lane. Where does he go? To farm.
I think he has a safe...
Tristana's 1v1s him. Jack's just 1v1s him. Where do you go?
I think he has a safe lane. It's just wrong lane assignments. Like, he can go... He's
what
shoving
lane
too
does
deep.
he go to?
He can go top lane. But he can even be bot. He's just shoving too deep.
You can see now Jax just rips through those structures, so the gold lead is back with 2 turrets falling down. Also a little bit of 1v1. It looks like Dodgers has lost this trade, as Jules has said.
There we go, boys.
No.
He lost the trade.
No.
There we go. Gameplank ulti has come out. What do you mean? We saw everything.
What are you talking about? We came in and we... No.
They were both full health. Then we checked the health bars, and he wasn't full health anymore.
Jax had a good trade. He went on a little too far.
Jax had a good trade, but he just lost it.
No.
Okay.
Bummer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
My bad.
Give me one more. I want to see another one.
Here we
go.
Taunt comes through. He's actually running away, but then he gets the dodge zone down. Stun actually goes through. So what else can Jax do here? Jax has done everything correctly. And then Tech just turns around and bops it.
But this is how you play the Shen into Jax matchup.
You need to not get hit by the Q by Jax. Especially if your dodge is on cooldown.
I mean, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong here, Jules. I feel like you can't say he can't get hit by 1 Q when legitimately Tekka's got hit by every Jax ability there is in the game.
Yes, because then if Tekka didn't get hit by Counter-Strike there, all over Red Rover. Anyway.
Take us away, Jules. Give me something else to talk about.
I'm salty.
So
I want to see another 1v1.
So Callista's hit the 2-item power spike. This is probably the biggest power spike for Callista. And Tristana's hit the 2.5. So it's going to be interesting to see the next team fight. I still think that QUT will win a 5v5 because they have a Jax. Yeah, a Jax.
Oh, yeah. You mean UWA?
No.
He means Jax sucks.
Jax sucks when you group.
You don't mean this
Here we
Casio?
go.
Look
There's
at
a
this
big
Casio's items,
engage
though.
coming out. Iggy has been ulted up. That is going to be on the very squishy support. Pops the ultimate down, and they will be able to successfully disengage.
I mean, I'm looking at these Casio items. He's hit 20% CDR. If he's running 10% scaling and runes, he's hit like this. It's all really uphill from him.
Yeah, I didn't.
Coming out of the Casio.
I did not look at the gangplank, and I did not see that his items were so little.
I feel like this Casio is the strongest champion on Summoner's Rift at the moment.
No, I'd say
Ooh.
Tristana.
I'm a big
almost at 3
Kalista fan at the moment.
Do you
However,
reckon?
Iggy looking for it.
Okay.
Big body slam engage.
Ooh.
Throws out another party cake and then runs away when he has a Shen ulti on him. They go in on
Good
BMA. Great taunt. He gets knocked up again. He's living for so long, but he has been ignited and Fate picks it up. Let's see if they can continue to going another
That's
two-man body slam. And you can just see that Jax isn't even teleporting here. That is going to be another member falling down.
This is what I'm talking about.
Jax didn't even want to TP. That was really nice coming. I mean, that was a really great prediction coming out of you, Brandon.
Look, 600 IQ for a reason, choose.
Mate,
I will say that Flick's engaged.
all of a sudden,
Oh,
the Death Center
oh,
stops the jump, and now he's in big trouble. He might have just killed his support as well. You can see he jumps into the wall. That's a big
Now that's
headbutt,
Baron.
and that is
it?
now
Jax is
Baron.
up. He's Jax. They don't know he's here.
Oh.
Jax
Here
has
we go.
flash. This is a
Counter
triple
strike
kill.
into the
Shen's got
middle
TP.
of the team.
Okay.
TP coming in for Shen.
Stay
Fate
with
needs to get more into the pit, and a good flash away. Now he's being slowed. He's going to fall down. You can see Fate is just going to chase him to the end of the earth. Maybe doesn't even matter. Just start hitting the Baron again, boys. Although Dodge wants it. Dodge
on the
really
Baron.
wants it.
Cassio's
You have
coming.
to stay
This
on the
is a time
Baron
bomb.
here.
This is going to take a long
Fate
time. You
needs
can
to
see
be doing
Fate.
that Baron.
I mean, he needs to hit it more because Cassio is just around the corner, boys. He nearly falls down, but they have to hit the Baron
Hit the
cube.
Baron.
They
Get
get
out.
There we go. It pulls. I will say that was very, very close.
So just to rewind a little bit, when we were saying you need a team that's ahead with a scaling composition may not necessarily be ahead.
Yep.
This is what I mean. You had Jax that was on one item, 1.5 items, I should say. You had Tristana, who's 2.5 items to Kalista's 2.5 items. You're just not going to be stronger in a 5v5. When Jax is just known for his split push and his 1v1, you don't want a team fight, whereas Shen can join team fights. And we saw what happens. If you pull the engage, it's going to go nicely for you if you're QUT.
I will say, in that team fight, I thought the Gragas ultimate was questionable. It went a bit too far for me, but it did knock Cassio into the Shen taunt, and that locked down that champion that we were talking about.
However, now Flick has been caught out. He's in trouble. Gets a big shield from that ultimate. However, has been stunned up. Can he get to the lantern? He can. He is out. And all of a sudden, you can see the split push has started on the other side of the map from Shen.
Cassio Shen, 1v1.
I'll call a spade, like Spawn says, and that was a very bad Gragas ult.
Was it?
It was a bad Gragas ult.
You got a shield from it. That's the only thing I
No, not
like.
that one there, the one at the
Oh,
top
at top lane.
lane.
Yeah, no, that one
Yeah,
sucked.
yeah. Oi, so now I think Shen actually wins this 1v1 now. Genuinely wins the 1v1 with Baron minions.
Oh, everyone wins with Baron minions.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
You know my theory about minions and junglers, right?
What?
If before level 4, I could choose to have a jungler or a full minion wave, I would take a full minion wave.
You know what, Spawn? I'd agree with you. My role sucks.
I was about to say. You're saying that to...
You're saying that to
I
me.
used to play
saying that to
jungle
the
as well.
face
You
of
know
junglers
this.
at
You
OCE.
played jungle,
Yeah.
but you've saw the light. You've seen the
I
light.
have. I'm an 80 carry mate now. As we get a little bit of a siege
Happened
down
to
mid lane.
junglers? I thought they were good.
Yeah, I thought they were as well. Then we just weren't. Big kegs coming through now. You can
Just
see
when you think
Kalista
they
sitting
are,
on
they
the
are.
turret. And it will fall down.
Oh, nice. Little cannon MVP.
QUT, 3,000 gold, boys.
This is a really good gold lead for QUT because they're coming to. They're hitting their item power spikes. GP just got his lethality. I'm not sure if it's that good in the context of the game.
It's
It's
okay.
fine.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
they don't really have any armor.
They
do
have no armor.
Yeah, so no, the lethality is actually good.
I mean, when you're against a team that has Kalista as well as Gangplank, you would think armor would be a priority.
There we
Is
go.
he just straight tanking the tower?
He is.
Oh,
That doesn't seem fair.
wait.
Oh my gosh.
I think
Thank
Tanker's
you,
like
just
playing a
keep-
little bit scared at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I was going to say.
Especially
Check it.
since Jax doesn't have...
You
Oh, look at that
yeah,
damage.
you have Tiamat. Just trade.
I reckon you
I
can
can
flash
run,
on
I
him
reckon
here.
run.
He is flash, no dodge if he hits this.
I'd flash.
Okay.
I'd flash. But I'm a solo queue player. I'm a solo queue goblin. I want that gold.
So, turret does fall down.
I will say that holding on to flash does maybe better for the team fight. If he is able to flash taunt the Cassio like we did like he did in the
Keg
other
actually
fight.
knocks Beamer into the wall. He gets a big ultimate,
There's
and
the
you can
Shen
see
ult.
Crunches is now in. That is going to be Eggy so low. Shen is here. That may be the turret falling down, but they use so much. I think they need to disengage. Flick goes in. That's a big flash body slam, and now they might be in a bit of trouble. However, Fate is just free hitting on the back line. They jump in. That is a huge play out of Xiaomei, and he might have just won them the team fight. You can see that they're still chasing through. That is everyone dead. The resets are out, and what a team fight out of UWA.
That was really well played from Xiaomei. He was just auto-attacking that whole fight. Even while his tower was up, you won't find many AD carries that have the confidence to just be auto-attacking while they're sieging your tower, and he knew his limits, and I guess it paid off.
That's the team fight you want to see coming out of Western Australia. The Casio didn't get picked at the very start from the Gragas engage, and they were able to pick up a clean 5-0.
And guys, this might be a lot of damage because you can see a creep wave not yet here, but we've already seen that the Jax can take up some turrets, and they're just ripping through it. Jax as well as Tristana, they're going to grab the turret.
That's without minions.
Without minions. Once these minions come, Double Mountain will be in effect, but the respawns are already coming through. They aren't going to get Inhibitor out of this.
All right, so not as bad as it could have been.
For me, this game is all about mechanical misplays.
Oh, let's watch this. Big, deep teleporters available if they just want to keep chasing.
Thresh is still
Gangplank
going.
ultimate is coming up. Thresh has Moby's juice. They could catch someone out here.
I know Rogue would be yelling at me to take the lantern. Rogue would say, take the lantern.
They guess wrong everywhere.
Yep.
I want to know how long to this Baron.
Well, so as I was saying, I think this game's actually, QUT's giving this game back based off mechanical misplays and just not knowing.
Here we go. So this is without the Gragas ultimate. You can see Casio and Tristana are doing so much damage already. You can see here's another
Gangplank.
E-Flash coming out of the Gragas, but it's just so disjointed and uncoordinated coming out of Queensland. And you can see the Sejuani, Jax Evans, very tanky. Tristana, as you said.
Although now they've got a pick here, and Beamer might fall down. He does. Better Gangplank ultimate. That one's just on his head. And now without Beamer available, with all that wave clear gone, it's time for QUT with a big minion wave to push in.
What's going on?
The scary thing for me, though, is if Tristana gets an auto. Rapid fire auto onto someone. I think they're going down.
Ooh.
Feint has
GP needs to land a big barrel.
Lord
here.
Dominus right now. He's going to shred through tanks.
I just want to see a barrel land spawn.
I do as well, but I don't think it does.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Ah.
Not too much damage.
Still has a big slow, and they go
block.
in, and they've actually hooked up the tank. You can see already Dodge has to get out.
This is it.
Crunches is in big trouble. Party Keg again. Flick just can't land one of them this
This
game.
is what I mean. I think the game's being decided on mechanical misplays. Imagine if they hit.
Yeah,
That's what
and that
happens
would have
when you
been game
pick.
probably. However, they will still take the turret. Think they should back away. They don't think so. Still 5 seconds on Beamer, but they will eventually pull out.
Dragon and Baron up 1 minute away. This is going to be... Both teams have Mountain. This is going to be a close objective fight, I believe.
Oh, I actually like this spawn. I like these twos. Just sit there at the blue buff. You know they're going to come. Look at the Jax.
They've got
Jax overextends. The taunt misses, however.
Flay?
Here we
Need a
go.
good flash.
Flay available. Flashes out, and he will just continue to run away. Greatly played from Dodge.
You know what I think you do here? I think you still stay at the blue buff. They're not going to expect it.
They're sitting on gold, though.
There they are.
They
But
are
this
sitting on
taunts up.
gold, and they want to buy before the objectives come
However,
up.
where is Mubu right now?
What is he?
See?
Mubu is deep in enemy lines. This is a reconnaissance pig. And you can see right now that they are sitting on a little bit of gold, but maybe a team fight going to come up because Sejuani is just AFK in the enemy jungle.
I don't know
GP
that.
is sitting on Infinity Edge. Why aren't they basing and
they
getting
need a
ready
base.
for this Baron?
Yeah, you can see right now that they've maybe overstayed just a little bit. They're indecisive.
Tech,
is the term.
I can tell. Tech is the one who wants to fight.
Yeah, I
He's
think-
at the front, pathing back and forth. You need to have a word with your sub.
I think you need to get that Infernal. You could have based and had that Infernal Drake.
Certainly could have been the case. And now you can see
The
Crunches is the
Baron's
man
up.
that wants to
They
start
won't
it.
be able to recall now. This
Team
is
fight coming in. Mubu. Nah. Flick misses another body slam. And maybe, just maybe, they should just say, all right, boys, this has gone on for long enough. Let's just get a recall in.
Ball lane is slow pushing as well.
Look at the item difference. Look at Casio's 4 items to GP's 2.
Get out, boys.
They do not win this team fight. They need to base.
Give Baron, go take the Infernal, and just recall. That's.
Oh.
I think that's the play.
I think if you give Baron, the game's over. Jax just
Bliss is sitting on
ignores Shen.
2.3k.
They do have double TP. Z could have TP'd back if he wanted. However, you can see that they've started up the Baron. They do it
Double
so quickly.
Mountain.
Double Mount plus Tristana plus Cassiopeia. They can just sit on this, and Shen is not going to be able to get into it. This is just going to go down. Hook is on, but Iggy now in big trouble.
Cannot
Great ulti there. However, Z is taking so much damage. A big explosion. That's a whiffed ultimate coming out of Mubu. Mistakes
Smithy.
ahoy. However, Everyone will now back away.
They don't even get the Infernal now. This is a disaster.
This is shot calling.
Well, it depends who you're going for. It could be a disaster or it could be heaven.
Could be. Infernal Drake started up. You can see Gragas wants to get in here. TP is available. Gragas and Shen, he goes over, he gets it, he flashes out, and now the disengage is on. Flash forward out of crunches. TP coming in, but they will be able to play him back, and Shen is still alive. Tech is trying to auto-attack. However, Shane Main jumps on his head. Flick, you probably should have helped him out there, mate. Probably didn't have cooldowns. He's over the wall. Fat man, a little couple of dance moves, and he's out.
Oh,
should have done. GP wasn't even in the team fight.
You know, I think Smite stealing that Baron there is worth. I don't think dying for the Infernal is.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. So getting out here, Iggy is getting chased out. It might be game. He falls. Big GP barrel doesn't crit. There's not enough crit in his build for just the Infinity Edge, and they're going to look to push through. They can at least take double inhibitor, if not look to win the game here. They're going to be onto it. He doesn't use the keg on the wave, and that's going to be game. That will be UWA picking up game number 2 in 35 minutes.
I don't know what to say. That game was looking very favourable for Queensland up until that one poor core. They wanted to sustain and be around that inhibitor.
The story of this series so far, boys, has been QUT are winning these games until they lose.
I think
they always look like they are in with a fighting chance, and then they just lose the game.
Yeah, it's just like the decision-making late game, or their final decision-making is just not there, or they're not confident in it.
I would say the worst way to lose any League of Legends game is in laning phase. The second worst way to lose is to be winning up until you throw. And that is kind of what Queensland have done both games.
I think the worst way to lose is just lose.
Yeah,
I think they're 2-0.
Sucks.
I think they're 2-0 down. I think they have to go back. And if GP was not the special pick, I think they need another one. Because the biggest... I don't like to harp on it. The biggest discrepancy for me was in the mid lane.
Yep.
I think they did well to put BMA behind, but then Gangplank just went to side lanes 3 times and just like suicide push.
Yeah.
And one thing I'll also say is that I think you have to think about banning Tristana.
Oh, okay.
He has just absolutely dominated them on Tristana. Sure, maybe not in laning phase. As soon as it gets out of lane, he's actually playing team fights extremely well.
He also got first blood that game, so maybe even in laning phase he's doing okay.
Yeah. And also, the way he just rocket, you can just tell he's confident on the champion. The way he's just rocket jumped into melee range of Kalista in a team fight. I think it could be worth a shout, worth a ban.
I will say that I do agree that the biggest disparity in this game is the mid lane. I would really just want Z to play something really simple.
Conventional.
Something very conventional. I mean, we saw the Victor, and like the Victor
is that conventional?
Yeah.
I don't know if it is at the moment.
Oh,
I think that's a
really
fantastic special.
But it's like easy to pull off. Is what I guess I'm trying to say is I want him to play something that isn't mechanical driven. That's something where you can just press R and you can do your part in the team fight.
All right. That is a rough ask because I can't think of many mid laners off the top of my head right now where you press R. Yeah, I've seen some.
I've seen some whiffers.
There was a week, if you will remember, that Chiefs Whiffer turned into Chiefs Whiffer for a couple of Orianna games. So I think that Orianna actually is harder than people say. I am the opposite. I just want him to play something like LeBlanc. Just have presence on a portion of the map because you can tell that when the team fights start breaking out, the kegs looked good in laning phase, but then when it went to the big, busy moments in the team fight, he started to really struggle to put them together.
You know what I think is a really good insurance policy, as well as a decent lane?
Corki.
If you ban it, Corki.
Yeah.
And that's not hard to play.
They banned it themselves.
They did too.
They banned it themselves because BMA played game 1.
I think first pick it if you can.
All right, so pick up Corgi next game, see whether QUT can pick up a win. However, right now it is UWA that is up 2-0, looking to complete the clean sweep. We'll be back right after this break. Welcome back to the Uni LOL Championships, where we're currently on match point. UWA is up 0-2 right now over QUT. I'm still Spawn, joined by Choo Choos as well as Jubes. And boys, you're no stranger to reverse sweeps. You've had a couple in your times.
I've actually
For
never
and against.
I've never reverse swept, but I have been reverse swept.
Yeah.
Didn't want to bring that up. I was just going to leave it there. But, you know, if you want to bust yourself, mate, that is absolutely fine.
It's on the past.
What does QUT need to do right now to pull this one back?
You're asking the wrong person. Choo-choos, what do they do?
What do you mean you are asking?
I haven't reverse swept. You're the reverse sweeper.
Have I?
You have pushed a broom through the Chiefs.
Have I?
Yeah. In
Oh, yeah, I did
2014
too.
summer, there was a 1-2 reverse
I stopped
sweep,
the
but it was
reverse
still
sweep,
there.
so I know how to
Yeah.
do that. If it gets to 2-2, then come back to me.
All right.
I don't know. To answer the question, they're not getting dominated in these games. These games are close. Really, both of these games have come down to just late game macro decision making. You would pray that when they go back into their green room, they would be able to think about like what did we do wrong in that game, and it was really that we just didn't recall when we were all sitting on a lot of gold, and they just. It's simple mistakes is I guess what I'm trying to say. So I hope that they pick these up and we'll see a much cleaner game 3.
I think you just need to pick up a foolproof comp. Actually, just a foolproof composition.
Malphite Oriana, is that what we're talking about?
If it works, it works.
Yeah, I reckon.
AP Malphite top lane.
Something easy to execute, you reckon?
Nah, that's a spawn special.
Do you know what it
mind
beats?
What?
Jace. Do you know why? Every Jace top laner in
Can't
solo
do
queue
anything.
goes Youmuu's first,
Yeah.
and you just one-shot it.
Yeah.
So you're like 0 CS to like 60, and then you just kill him. Yep, that's all that happens.
Yeah, you're like a Pantheon.
Oh,
mate.
these bands are so boring. Same stuff.
Oh, I love Choo Choos is a party pooper.
What does
We're
Choo Choos
3
want?
bands in, and Choo Choos is like, come on, guys, we're in Champions League.
Oh, okay,
Focus
there we
up.
go.
Choose
Corky, we're talking about Corky on Z.
Yeah,
He's
but
banned it
Jay
away.
banned it.
Again. Yeah, he's banned at the same time.
Zaya,
he can't be
Galio,
there.
as well as the Cho'Gath, same bands, and then it's going to be Oriana, Corky, and I expect to see Tristana.
Okay.
There we
There
go,
it is.
boys.
Okay, there we go. Switching it up. Sejuani first pick was what they did last game.
Rakan is up, and because
Rakan
Kalista
flew
and
through it,
Zaya, Zaya's banned. I was going to say, potentially take it. Nah, Sejuani locked in.
Fate is a notorious Zaya player in solo queue. Got to get rid of it.
What about if they go, Lulu? I was going to say, what about the Kalista Rakan here?
That's a very good lane, but it doesn't look like they want it. I would have gone Kalista Rakan. Because like the way Kalista BMA, how you going? The way Kalista Rakan works is that it is that foolproof thing where you group as 5-man. Usually it's a bit harder to execute a 5-man composition where if they have split pressure, you're hesitating. Do I engage?
Yep.
Do I engage? If you have Rakan, there's an engage.
You never hesitate.
There is
with
an
Rakan.
engage. Like,
Quickness Flash W is impossible to dodge.
yes. So I feel for me that's a foolproof. But I guess we're going towards the Lulu Gragas.
Queensland's engages have been really nice though. I feel like
Yeah, their early mid game's been
yeah,
good.
like the engages are good. It's just you don't have your mid laner there.
Beamer might throw the gauntlet here. Ari would make a little bit more sense than Cassidy. As far as blind pick assassins, I feel like Ari is at a higher blind pickable level.
Then
It
LeBlanc.
looks like it's going to be the Ari.
No, I don't know if he plays LeBlanc though. I know
yeah.
that he plays Cassidy.
It's the Ari.
Yeah.
I know BMA plays Talon, but
I
maybe
like
he just
Talon.
wants. Maybe he just wants the 3-0. Maybe he just wants the 3-0 and pack up shop.
Why don't we see Talon at the moment, Choose? What is it about
You
Talon?
should. I reckon mid laners have been practiced. I mean, Fancik's probably the best Talon player.
So
He didn't pull
we
it
don't
out.
see Talon because it's not that his lane's necessarily that bad. He doesn't really scale into much,
It's
and
easy
then
to shut down, especially
when-
in team fights.
when you get the lethality items, your tanks will probably have Tarbis and an armor item.
Yep.
And there was a lot of tanks being picked. So Talon really only had one target. Back in carry jungle meta, where it was like Graves, Kha'Zix, things like that.
one shot them.
Yeah, and even top lanes were squishier then,
Yep.
like Rumble, Camille and stuff. You could always one-shot them. So it's just about what's good in the meta. What makes Talon good.
Vladimir, however, has been picked up. Haven't seen him much in this current meta. Going up against Ari, you can see Jax and Kog'Maw are actually the bans.
I'm fairly certain that's a decent Ari matchup. Yeah, after Morello's, I think that's a decent Ari matchup. Like you can play it. Like you know how there was those Vlad matchups that were that you shouldn't play. Like Syndra into Vlad is not Vlad's probably one of Vlad's better matchups. He comes into that matchup quite well.
The thing is, with this matchup, is especially with Vlad running Ignite nowadays, is you can one-shot the Ahri at level 6, 7.
But if you do,
if you get Hextech Revolver, Ignite, and a enhanced Q, you can one-shot Ahri.
But when I say it's a good matchup, like what you want to do is you want to shove the wave because you have priority on the wave when you're playing Ahri, and then you want to roam, and Vlad can't match that.
Misfortune picked up here, so we're going to have a Rakan Misfortune lane into the Twitch, looking to heavily bully Twitch out.
Level 6, that is scary.
I'd be lying if I told you if I knew how that lane went.
Twitch versus MF.
I mean, how often do you see that?
I'd be lying. I don't even.
MF wins every lane.
Yeah,
that's the general rule, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
She is so strong. That strut, the W, people just do not expect the W damage to come out. She is auto attack so quick. Jarvan will be taken into the top lane for Dodge, who's had a couple of ripper games, to be honest. First on that second game onto the Jax, he came into his own. And Aurelia is being hovered right now.
Yes.
This is the oldest matchup in top lane I think we have in League of Legends. Jarvan Aurelia.
This is a Tekka champ.
Is it?
This is Tekka's
It is a Tekka champ.
Tekka's bread and
Here we
butter.
go.
This is what you, This is your $1 million match. What do you play, Tekka? Aurelia.
Would you put your life if you Aurelia player in OS? Is he up there? Is he Chippy's level?
I think Chippy's is the only 6,000 game Aurelia player, but Tekka might be the next closest most Aurelia games played. Who else would there be?
I know Tally doesn't play Aurelia too much.
The Whale used to play a lot of Aurelia.
Tally?
Mickey?
Yeah.
Oh, he did, but he never...
Tally doesn't...
He still struggled into Italy. He still couldn't manage to pull that one.
Come on, dude.
Let's not.
That's too soon. It's been
It's too soon.
It's been 2 years, but it's still
3
too
years.
soon.
It's been 3 years.
Oh, no.
Poor Mickey.
Italy. I'm having flashbacks
Do
now.
you guys know
you actually made your
have
montage play in there when you were playing Zed and you dodged the Ash Arrow. I thought you were good then.
No, I dodged the Jinx Rocket. But if you... Yeah.
You were a good player then.
Thanks, man.
Too soon now.
This is too soon.
However, two very different team comps this time around. Vladimir Twitch, that's got teamfight written all over it, but not the engage out of the top lane that we saw last game. Whereas UWA to me just has the press R comp. We talk about ease of execution. Jarvan ult someone, Sejuani ult them, and then just Misfortune starts laughing, and they all die.
The thing about the ultimates on University of Western Australia is you can't miss them. If you miss these ultimates, you deserve to lose the game. Misfortune ultimate, the map. I mean the screen, sorry, I should say. Rakan ultimate, can you miss it?
Not really.
Probably not. Ahri ultimate, yeah, you can miss the abilities, but you can't miss the ultimate. Sejuani ult, it's huge. Jarvan ult. So it's just a big wombo.
The thing is I'm really curious as this mid lane. I want to see Z on this Vladimir. It's been banned out against them 2 games in a row. The 2 games before. Who knows?
You know what?
What?
I have a feeling Z's just absolutely going to monster this game on Vladimir.
I think you said that about Gameplank.
Yeah, but this is a different feeling.
This one? This is game 3 feeling.
This feeling is different. I reckon Z's got this in the bag.
All right, well, we are on to Summoner's Rift for game number 3. Potentially the final game as UWA are taking on Queensland University of Technology. I'm really interested to see exactly how QUT pull this one together because we have mentioned it so many times. Their early game is good. They look fine in the team fights. Just some little sloppy errors. If they can clean them up, boys, I feel like the series really begins.
Yeah, if I'm Flick this game, I think I'm sitting top lane and I'm not even farming my jungle. I'm just in the I'm in the top lane brush. We're 2v1 lane.
I was actually just thinking about this. Out of all 3 of these lanes, which one is the most volatile? Which one would you think is going to be constant fighting, so much action?
I think that the UWA bot lane is volatile in the sense that if they get ahead, it's just over. Like
I was going to say 1 to 5, I would be sitting top lane if I was Flick.
Yep.
And then I would want the Aurelia that far ahead that bottom lane can never go forward.
Yep. Exactly. So you basically you're purchasing a property in top lane investment. Yeah. Its worth has gone up. You don't need to be there anymore. It's self-sufficient. Now you're just sitting bot lane and you're investing in the apartments.
Yep, I agree.
Hey, I'm a property specialist.
Yeah, you are too.
Everyone from Melbourne is.
Yep.
Because you can actually buy property in Melbourne.
Not if you have an avocado and a coffee.
Mate, you can eat as many avocados and coffees in Sydney as you'll want because you cannot afford property prices here. I could live 3 lives and still not buy a property in Sydney, I reckon.
What's going on here?
Grasp the Undying, OP, early game. I would say that's a fervor, Aurelia.
Yep.
And I'd say Grasp on the 1-on-2 auto attack trades is just far superior at this stage of the
I
game.
will say that Z is taking... I think he's been hit by every single Q.
It's a mind
By
game.
B-Mate.
It
It actually is a
game.
mind game, and B-Mate is winning this mind game.
Nah, Z's baiting him in.
Oh, he's missed his E there. That's sad to see.
It's on
Don't
Smart
worry,
Cast.
No, he wants the heal.
Z's coming back into it.
Okay.
Nah, you can see it was on Smart Cast. The reason he walked off the wave is because his E was on Smart Cast, I reckon.
Yeah, you're right.
Get that. Oh,
Maybe it's not. Maybe that's just
that
how he
is
plays
something
Vladimir.
new. I never see Vlad do that.
What's he actually doing?
He's smashing E, or he's smart casting it essentially.
tapping
just
it.
to last it.
But he wasn't. He missed.
Well, no. He did it again and got a CS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cool.
No,
so
no,
we
you're
see a little bit of a trade top lane once again. That's going to be won by Dodge.
I think this is a good Jarvan matchup early, right? I would
Early.
just assume that he would win this matchup
Yes.
early, and then at level 6, they both have kill pressure, but Aurelia just spikes it.
Tekka doesn't know that this Sejuani is behind him.
Although you should suspect the
Yeah.
path towards double
Yes.
gold.
Like, for me, the most common jungle path is farming from red side, so from red buff to top, farming enemy Krugs and vice versa.
But now you can see he
He's
has
seen,
set
he's
up. He's
spotted.
been spotted out by the ward. However, big wave has been shoved in.
Ooh.
I would be interested to see if they go for this. This is what wins you the lane or loses you the
I
game.
think you trade 1 for 1 here, though.
So they don't go for it.
Oh, I hate
don't
seeing
wanna see
that on
that. You
Aurelia.
don't wanna
Would
see
you have gone, if Flares was the top laner, would you have gone for that dive?
My life for Kwong Ta. That was the motto in our team. I'd die for flares any day.
All right,
This
cool.
is
We
a
have a
flash.
gank coming in mid lane. He flashes onto Beamer. Beamer flashes
Oh.
away. He goes in. The pull is there as well. I think that the pull was early. I think that's a kill if he
I was
does
about
not
to
pull
say
straight
that
away.
the E missed. The E
Oh,
was
is that what
just out
happened?
of range. I think.
Alright.
I think you are right. I think Z does know Vlad a lot better than his other champions. He had the idea. Just sad that E wasn't in range.
Yeah, I agree.
Just a little bit short, otherwise would have had it. However, does burn the summoner spell on Beamer. Gets 3 back in response to his BMA, but he has to go back to base. And this is Vlad's dream. A free recall on Revolver is
have it.
a very good feeling.
But
Does not have it.
I think what
This
you...
is that wave on it.
900, he doesn't have it.
Oh.
He's got double amp.
He is so close. If he had to hit those creeps earlier,
You know what I think, though?
Wave is frozen in front of Ari's tower.
I think if you're Vlad there, I just feel like you just take the Ari
Ooh.
flash.
yep.
Yeah, you just take the Ari flash.
Wait till level 6.
Yeah.
All in.
Yeah, and then Gragas can be there too. I think just burning the flash. Oh, okay, the gank's coming through.
Yeah,
it's on
and
a
this
ward.
will be unsuspected.
ward.
Does
Can't miss.
come back around. I told you, give me a creep wave, but no, he just dashes into a turret and dies. So unfortunately for Tekkas, he's given up first blood.
Yeah, he was on a he
It's
was on
good
a
it's
ward.
not on Jarvan though. That could have been.
Oh, I
disastrous,
hate
really.
people like you, Aaron. I hate people that
What are you gonna
say.
say?
I hate people that say, yeah, it's fine. I gave first blood to the jungler.
No, I didn't.
Because I have to
what did
deal
I
with him
say?
as the jungler.
I didn't say that. I didn't
You
say
are
that.
the jungler.
Yeah, but when my team gives
I
away
said
first
it's a
blood.
pity it didn't go onto Jarvan.
Okay, sorry.
Like it went on Sejuani, but it would be really good for Jarvan.
Yeah, that's fair
Dwayne
enough.
now farms very quickly. She has Balmy
Balmy
Cinder
Cinder already.
plus boot
Yep.
at this stage of the game.
And this is where I'm question marking in my top laner. You died to a gank on a ward.
I've always wondered, irrelevant question, but
Yeah.
I have wondered,
Okay.
can you report people on the TR? Is there an option?
I don't know. I haven't tried, but you know what? I'm gonna do it next time. Next time I play a game on
I think
TR.
there is. I think there is
there
an
is.
option.
If Tommy ever gives first blood or something over, as we see a little bit of engaged move, goes on to flick, he'll get the stun out
Ooh.
here, and Beamer is rotating across. However, nothing really happening.
This is why
Engaged bottom lane, and that is going to be a lot of damage down onto Iggy, because Iggy once again would be running GP10, and Feint is lucky that that did not. Oh, actually, he gets flashed on, has to flash away, and burns the heal out of Iggy. That's a lot burnt for a pretty basic game.
Good play coming out of Mubu. Getting Switch Flash is huge, especially since the Rakan is closing onto 6.
I call that a Radia heal. You know, when I first started playing and Radia was playing, he was the king of using heal before the ignite went down. He would always heal so early, and I really respect that. And I know the heal there wasn't good, but
Radia was good.
Radia was good.
I missed Derek.
Do you?
Yeah. I think they went.
he ordered.
Oh, Tekka's in big trouble here.
Is
he
he?
gets stunned up, although now he's. Oh, he took a turret
Oh!
shot. He's
Oh!
outplayed him. Tekka just knows the ins and outs of the Aurelia. He had it
6,000
covered.
games, Aurelia. That was actually really well played. So one thing Tekka did there that was really nice was like, so firstly he knew the lifesteal coming through from Aurelia ultimate Transcendent Blade.
Yep.
Was it Transcendent Blade?
Yep, that's correct.
There we go. But then he also queued to the minions and basically juked a lot of the damage and got out of auto attack range of Jarvan. So that was really nicely played.
The auto spacing from Tekka.
Auto spacing in melee range is always a hard thing to do.
Certainly is. Especially in a 1v1. Sometimes I just forget and I just start biffing people.
If that was me, I would have clicked the ground and probably would have walked into Jarvan. But let's not go there. I click jungle camps for a living. They can't fight back. Well, they do, but they don't move.
How many times have you been killed by a jungle crew?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm sure if there was a statistic, I'd be up there. I mean, fun fact. Oh, here we go. Ooh, Aurelia's straight to the lane.
Yeah. Get him.
This is going to be a big
Gragas.
fight.
Gragas
The
is there.
Red
Here we
is going
go.
to be here. Gragas is coming around and should be able to get a flash body slam. Doesn't have flash. Actually doesn't have anything available. The slow was there. Go through the fat part of the wall. He obviously doesn't have body slam. We were looking at Dodge's abilities, so I couldn't tell you for sure.
As I was saying, I think the funniest moment of my League of Legends career, speaking of.
Oh, here we go. Actually, face checks in this time. However, BMA is here. Has ulted once, has ulted twice, has ulted 3 times and charmed him up and will pick the kill.
Did you see it?
Oh, and actually, there's a stun here as well. I can't see anything. However, Z has turned this around. BMA is but he falls down before the heal can come out.
Flashed into the wall.
Ooh,
The
did
fat
he?
part of the wall.
It's a hard flash to pull off from that side.
It is, but he's done it.
On the other side, I did want to say before that all that happened is Twitch wasn't able to base. Misfortune and Rakan got a full buy, while Feint and Iggy were still on their Dorans and Charm and Coin. Sorry.
And that's actually very bad right now because
they
you
lose
can
a
see
lot
he
of
had to
damage.
burn Cleanse. So he no longer has Flash, no longer has Cleanse. As soon as this level 6 comes through, I feel like that is a free 400 gold waiting there for the Twitch.
Yep. I think they just need
Oh,
the
that's a
items
big
and-
buy coming out of Ari. Sorks and Lost Chapter.
Yeah, that lane's not going to be good anymore.
Yeah.
But back to my story. As I was saying, the funniest moment I've had is I was versing Carbon, and we both we both actually died to the jungle camp at the same time. And my team, when we pressed tab, we were like, well,
I think I was in that game.
Yeah, my team was actually
think I was in that
disgusted in
game.
me. But then we pressed tab and we were like, wait, Carbon also died. And then I just all chat. I said Carbon, and then he says we're good players. Yeah, but it was funny.
It happens to the best of us.
It does.
I mean, Dyrus went to Worlds 4 times. He died to Wolves when Wolves could crit.
Broken Shard died to red buff.
Yep, true. Dyrus was reading a guide on how to jungle Gangplank because back then he was a top laner, but Dan Din used to sometimes play mid lane. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And Dyrus would swap to top.
The good flex. It's a flex.
It is a great flex, and you can see BMO now with the double buff, but still getting bullied a little bit.
was a good trade for
has
Z.
gone for a funky build. I think he's getting himself a Banshee's Veil first up.
I don't know if I like that. Do
I
I?
wanted the all-in. I wanted the Hex deck.
Maybe
Okay.
losing 2 games, confidence isn't there. He just wants to survive. And
Vlad
and let his team go.
outscales Ari.
Yeah.
For sure.
So maybe this is a live build.
Here
And
we
now
go.
we can see Flick in the bottom lane. He actually goes in. Keg
Good
onto
ult.
the MF. Great ult. However, on the back line, Crunches is popping off at the moment. However, Bullet Time comes out. That is so much damage. And they're going to look to 2v3. You can see Feint still there.
they're
But
dead.
all of a sudden, Sejuani comes down. Good flash out of Feint. However, it's not going to be enough. He juked out on that Q, but he just might have killed his support. And you can see Ari is here. Goes around. Big engage coming out one more time from Mubu. Now grab all three.
Hold on. Here's
Vladimir.
Z with Flash.
What's he doing? He
Here we
flashes
go.
in. He actually goes onto Crunches. That's the support. He has picked him up. He will die. He gets some health back. Now all of a sudden he needs to get back to his turret. He's already been stunned up. He's trying to kite for his life. Uses an ability. Takes too much damage and will fall down. Top lane at the same time. Tech is looking for a fight onto Dodge. I am now officially going to stop talking because I'm out of breath.
I'll take over for you, Spawn, if you want.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, so the tower goes down. The double, not even double, just the 1 lethality. Not even, yeah, okay, he's got the lethality item now. Just a 1 serrated Dirk, almost 2v3 that gank. This is a much better early game from Mubu, as you can see from his kill participation.
Yeah, Mubu definitely very comfortable with
Tekka goes in
Sejuani.
again.
First
Dodges
pick.
another flag drag as well with that Q juice. I like the fact that you pointed it out. Now we can track how many times he gets that one in there.
Tekka has kill pressure. I think if Tekka didn't back off there, I honestly feel like at this point, Tekka's your only win. Tekka was the only win condition, and he has to just do something. I think he should have Transcendent Bladed.
Yep.
And just going on to the Jarvan.
The issue is now that they lost bot tower, this Misfortune and Rakan are going to start roaming, and this 1v1 for Tekka is going to be a lot harder to pull off.
Yeah. And here we go. Flick wants BMA again. However, Mubu is right there, and you can see that Crunches is in the top lane, as is Xiaomain and Dodge. Ooh. He's gone over the wall. He actually might have... Ooh, that was very close. You can see
sneaky.
Feint. He is. He's very sneaky. So that's a lot of members top, and I don't think you want to 4v4 when the MS is this far ahead. Although they disagree, they go in, and that is a big flag drag combo. Feint is actually taking, he's frontlining, and the bullet time comes across and absolutely rips them all apart. Absolutely massive play out of Xiaomain. The stun will go down onto Tekka's, and we'll see whether he can live. Crunches is just taking up that turret. You missed the ult, and then Flick nearly flashed back into it for him. However, does smite the camp, has a little bit more. Iggy's still in some trouble. Beamer and Z, meanwhile, having a little bit of a biff in the mid lane, but it's all happening top lane. Iggy is dead. Tekka looks for the stun onto the Sedge. However, Sedge will not fall down, and another kill goes over to Dodge. The Jarvan is massive, and UWA are absolutely smashing QUT.
And that's 6,000 gold in 13 minutes. This game is looking very dire.
That's a really good macro play from UWA. They got the bot tower, rotated top lane, I guess they called QUT's bluff. They knew that they couldn't fight that, and they just played with confidence, played in between the towers, got the engage that they wanted, and yeah, as you said, 6k up at 13 minutes, you're gonna win those fights like that. Especially when you've got the Twitch that you want to scale. Lulu didn't have Ardent Sensor.
I guess I'll ask you, both of you, how does QUT get back into the game?
60 minutes. This is the Legacy 2014 win condition.
Oh, still the
Take him late game.
It's still today, the Legacy win condition.
I think the win condition just comes from... So, when games get like this, and this does seem like a bit of a joke, but when games get like this, you want to group as 5 and kill trade. If you kill trade, and you lose 3 kills, but get 2 and don't lose anything, that's your ideal fight.
Yeah. The way I look at it is... macro play is very difficult to pull when you're this far behind.
It's out the window.
Yeah, it's literally like, if you try and be, okay, let's just farm, you're giving way too much room to the other team to choke you out.
They take your jungle, they start chipping your turret.
You need to start just being crazy. Just start fighting. You need to just make picks, try and get back into the game through chaos.
It's the unexpected 5v5. The unexpected group 5v5, what are they doing here at 15 minutes?
It's also little things, like it's the random level 11 blue pot Vladimir that gets flashback available and just dives your back line by himself. And you're like, why has he got a blue pot? Why is he flashing on me? He just killed me. This game isn't fair.
Yeah, exactly.
UWA are doing good though. They're staying as 4.
You know what my...
This might be a team fight, mid lane tower.
However, the turret just falls and it's not answered. You can see that they are just trying to fight. And you can see right now, oh, that's BM.
What's going on there?
It's very BM. Sometimes the actual win condition can be at 20 minutes where you say, let them start Baron. Let's just try and smite still Baron.
Yep.
Like, actually, that's a legitimate win condition sometimes, is if you're this far down and you can stop the bleeding and you don't lose any more gold here, and you know that they're going to play around Baron, just go for the steal. I think like that's actually one of the legitimate win conditions.
Vlad has now opted for the Hextech Revolver.
Yeah, I think he delayed his task like way too hard.
Variety bucket.
Kentucky Fried Chicken variety bucket.
What is your go-to meal at KFC?
I'm a twister kind of guy. As you can see from my belly, I do have a fair few twisters in me.
Have you got a go-to meal?
Snack box.
Snack box.
Any of them, yeah.
My ideal go-to meal right now is a Indian dish.
Oh, actually, big engage coming out. They get the flash, and all of a sudden they've just blown up. They
calm.
dunk him. Actually, Rakan comes in. He's just zooming and hitting no one. Look at him go. He gets body slammed back.
How is it possible to miss Rakan?
I said you could have missed Rakan.
To be fair, the target he went for died way quicker than he thought they were going to. However, this might be the team fight. You can see Teleporter coming back in from Tekka. That is the charge. Party Keg comes out. It knocks one back, but it's the wrong person. Flick now in grave danger of dying. Tekka trying to get rid of this very annoying Rift Herald. And he will do so.
Z's going to go huge in a second.
I think when you have to teleport to defend your inhib tower mid, it's not the ideal game.
I don't think anything is ideal. You just need to hold on. Hold on. Wait,
don't let go.
Don't let go. Twitch is sitting on a lot of gold.
Is he?
Finished Triforce.
Is he sitting on a lot of gold?
He's been on those items for about 5 minutes.
He got his berserkers. That's a power spike. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Power Spike.
Power Spike Berserkers. And then on the other hand, Misfortune approaching
Buying
Dustblade.
the old Dustblade, but of course it doesn't build out of that anymore, Choo Choo. So he's just picked up a BF Sword because he can afford it.
Wait, it doesn't. Oh no!
You're a pro player, mate. Come on.
I forgot.
You were
I forgot
a Z1 trick.
Warhammer.
What's going on?
I don't know. That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here. I like that butterfly, by the way. I turn off
On the
eye
bottom
can-
left of your screen.
Yeah, I turn off eye candy when I play, so I don't get the butterfly in my games. And then one day when I was shoutcasting, I noticed it. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I like the
I like the
lizards and
river frog.
Yeah.
The
The
little
river
that
frog.
hops into
The
river.
river frog.
Yeah.
Love him.
I've named him.
What's his name? Yeah, you've named it.
I didn't expect you to admit. I didn't expect you to ask me. I haven't named him.
If you could name the frog right now in front of
Kermit.
everyone. Hermit?
Kermit.
Kermit.
Kermit the frog.
Yep.
Kermit the frog.
Yep.
Old Faithful. I like
Okay.
it.
Kermit, it's simple, and you can't get it wrong, can you?
No, it's effective. Now they siege into another turret.
Is this game going to
They're
end in 20
8,000
minutes?
gold down. They really need to make a play, I feel.
I think you have to group as 5 here.
Here we go. They're
Force ult.
actually looking for it. That's a support and jungler
Yeah,
looking
you
for a
won't
pick
kill
on a
him.
mid laner. I don't think they're going to kill him. However, now Twitch is coming in.
Go for it now.
Nah, doesn't go for it.
I think a win here is burning Ari ult. Even go
Yes,
for burning
I
Ari
was
ult.
actually thinking, Gragas, just ult the Ari, force the ultimate to come out.
And then go fight.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see whether they defend this turret. No, they let it go. You can see Z a little bit too low, but they get the ult out. However, he charms up Feint. See whether he goes back in. Beamer wants it, and he gets an ult or two back for himself. You can see the dodge is already over there. Beamer goes in, gets another flash, this time out of Iggy. And you can just see that Beamer, he's been on the stage before. He knows what it's like to be a pro player. Cool under the pressure and outclassing the QUT lineup right now. They're going to breach the base in multiple
Here we
directions.
go.
He goes
Here
flat,
we go.
however.
Big damage.
Flashes in. And I think if he had continued, he would have got the 1-for-1 trade that they were looking for. Instead, he backs away.
At this point, I think you trade the 1-for-1.
You can see that Feint, he wants one. They go in on Beamer. He doesn't have ult available this time, and he might just fall down. However, the dunk comes out. Feint is looking for Beamer. They get the 1-for-1 trade, and Dodge is now stuck in his own Cataclysm. They're trying to kite away. In comes Crunches. He grabs this ultimate. Quickness is very good into the battle dance, and now Z, I'm sorry, mate,
No,
but
he's
you're
got the
just probably
sustain.
going to fall down.
He's ignited.
Ignited.
Is he
Ignited.
dead?
No, he's not dead. He's absolutely fine. Dodge on the back line. Oh, he's dead now. He got flashed on.
Okay.
He cheated.
I meant Sejuani.
Does Sejuani even have a health bar?
Yeah. Sejuani's got no health bar left, guys.
Now I can see it.
39. He's fine.
It was lower than that. He was actually
I
lower
think he
than
went
that.
down to single digits.
Yeah, he did, I think.
Oh, come on. Just leave him alone.
All
Boo Boo, go shop, mate. Ignore these guys. He's got himself a Sheen.
Sheen.
He does.
What's he building?
I spawned Gauntlet Sejuani.
I respect that. I actually respect that a lot.
I mean, when you're 6k
Only
up
way to
at
make jungle
13
relevant,
minutes,
build damage.
when you're 6k up at 13 minutes, you still respect it.
Well, look, the way I look at it is Mubu still got 7 seconds where he's relevant in the game. 5 seconds. Relevant. Alright, guys, let's just group up. I'll use CC, building tank. I don't do anything anymore.
I mean, Ardent Saucy is not too far away coming out of Lulu.
If the
They
Saucy...
need more than that.
If the Saucy... now, listen. If the Saucy comes online,
Oh.
Flick steals Baron, we're in for a game.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Remember,
And I was gonna-
when you take an inhibitor, you give the enemy team 2,000
They're
gold.
farming.
Okay. They are farming.
They have bank
Wait,
coming
wait.
into their base right now.
Everyone on UWA is building like Sheen.
Here we
Tekka's
go.
gonna win.
Tech is actually going in for the 1v1. Sorry to interrupt. He has no W available, but he's got a lot of minions. Dodge
God.
smartly recognizes that, actually just takes him out, and the rest of the team is coming. Beamer's
no,
already
no.
picked
Leave
the
it as
top
the
laner.
1v1.
This is unfair.
Tekka would have won that. I think Tekka would have won
I
that.
reckon.
He had a lot of sustain coming out.
Why didn't they give him the 1v1?
Oh, Twitch
Because I reckon they want to win the university championship.
Twitch also won a
true.
one. Twitch also died in a 3v1 against
Yeah.
Ari. So BMA just pushed in the top lane. Very well played by him. I think he's had a really good Ari game, to be honest.
I think he's had a great series so far.
Yep.
If you had to pick an MVP, it
Ooh.
would probably be
Zhao
close.
Zhao Main.
Zhao
I would say
Main.
Zhao
Okay.
Main.
Even Mubu.
Nah, Mubi's had some two early games where he got outpassed. I don't think the MVP
That's,
gets outpassed.
okay, yep, that's true.
And I like Mubu.
Here we go. Zil goes in, gets underneath some of the CC, gets some good damage down. and
cancels.
interrupts Yao Ming's ultimate. We see
opening
now
up.
Fate is opening up and doing absolutely no damage. Unfortunately for Twitch, he just has no items. Moving goes
comes
back
Tekka.
in. Z is still fine. Tekka is here as well. They might actually win this fight. You can see they're dancing around. Big Cataclysm comes in. However, Dodge, you're out of mana. He gets shut down, and this is a
Tekka
one-team fight. They're still going for
Just
it.
go.
Tekka is behind them. Xiaoming, you're in big trouble, buddy. You're probably going to fall down. Shut down again. And this is a huge team fight out of QUT.
Go Baron.
Unfortunately, they are still losing their base, but they have managed to pick up 3 kills for absolutely nothing.
You have to go Baron here. You have to just... Everyone just V-line for Baron. I think you honestly...
Oh, this is good. I like this play.
All right, yeah, Infernal too, actually. I didn't... Yep.
This is the long-term scaling. Baron, what does that give you? Like 2 minutes of power.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like
Infernal
maybe
Drake
going for
is
one
forever.
tower
This
would
is
be
the
better.
investment.
I mean,
I've spoken a lot about investments, actually.
You have.
I think I was just listening to you talk on the phone about your properties.
Maybe. Mum and Dad weren't happy, as you could tell. Oh,
Right.
teleport coming in, Tekka. You're in big trouble. However,
that 1v1,
Yeah.
what are you doing
Here we
there,
go.
mate?
Oh, where's the one shot?
I reckon he had Beamer on toast then.
Yeah, in the 1v1, I think he got him. But
He's
now,
going
now
Bork as well.
BMA's going to go base, probably complete 2.5 items, and then the 1v1 may not be as smooth.
Unpopular opinion, but right now, if I build damage on Aurelia, I like lethality as Dodge goes in.
You won't do damage though because they have.
Mate, you're just trying to kill Ari.
Okay, fair enough.
You fly at Ari, top speed. You're like, Lulu, give me the shield. I've got an Ardent Saucy already for the attack speed.
Do you reckon someone from another region has just tuned in and heard us talking about Ardent Saucy and they're trying to Google what that item is?
Potentially. And then they're going to find Swiffer's tweet and he's going to get even more exposure. So congratulations. Swiffer is the real winner here.
Yeah, he is.
This is a good brush camp, TM style.
Yeah, this
You
is.
know all about this.
I do. I've copped one of these to the head.
That was a while ago.
Certainly was. However, over into the Baron pit now. They started up. Unfortunately,
This is the win
they
condition I'm
just
talking
cannot-
about.
Oh, they can potentially get the steal, actually. You're correct. Flick, very low. They're not doing Baron all that quick, however. So the team can arrive if they want to. However, they don't want to.
He smited Krugs. He's not going for it.
I mean, will they do it in the next 10 seconds?
Will they do it in the next 30?
His smite is back available nearly. He could have gone for it still.
I would have gone for it.
Smiting Krug for the HP.
I mean, look, the way I'm looking at this game, right, is I either make a hero play or I just die again.
There we go. Elixir coming from Vlad.
Yeah, this is the
You
time
actually
to
said
shine.
this spawn.
This is level 13. I wish he was level 16 because then it would be the real Hail Mary. However, I think you just throw your Vlad in.
They're going to win. They're going to win this fight.
He needs to pop it.
Watch. Let's see. He's waiting for his...
Here we go. It's Pop. He wants in. Right here.
Oh!
He slams into them, but he doesn't get anyone. However, Crunches once again missed his ult completely.
He's
2
doing
times in
work.
one game. And they've actually nearly blown up the first member. Tech is going in for it. Not able to get crunched. Big knockup, big bullet time, and Jarvan dunks someone. That will most likely be the game. ZU will fall too. That is going to be Tekka with a double kill. He's popping off. Tekka is trying to save this. And Mubu again lives on single-digit health. How does he keep doing it? But maybe, just maybe, they've done enough. You can see that Flick has to just stall for 20 seconds. He's trying to zone them away. The fat man needs to pull something out. Gragas, you need to dig deep. You can't back away. This is the University Long Championship on the line, but he cannot do it. He is backed out. He is thrown in the towel, and that will be UWA with a clean sweep.
Oh, God. What a series.
What a
3-0.
Fantastic series. Congratulations to University of Western Australia. They showed up.
Dominating.
They were definitely the best team before this tournament. And today, they played incredibly well, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, 10-0 regular season, coming into the finals. Never. I mean, they haven't dropped a game all season.
I like to refer this. I
you
like
go.
to refer to this as the teacher has slain the student. Mubu was the coach of Tekka this split, and Mubu's just ran over him.
Absolutely.
He's
he
actually
has.
camped his lane as well. That's a tragedy. I hate that. When you know someone, it's a gentleman's agreement. Don't go to that lane.
Yeah.
Don't kill that person. Otherwise, you're ruining friendships.
How do you play OPL? Because last time I checked,
I don't have any friends.
Oh,
I don't have any
there
friends.
you go. There we go.
There's your answer.
That is the answer right there. Was not expecting it, but that is the answer I got. At the same time, you do have to take your hats off to QUT. That last game, very difficult to stay in. However, some pretty entertaining team fights, and their early games throughout this series was pretty good.
I think there was some actually good micro on the side of UWA. I want to shout out their top laner. I thought he played extremely well in certain team fights. When he was playing Nah in particular. BMA, solid laning phase. Even when he was put behind, he just knew how to come back into the game. I think it was really well played from the team as a whole, especially Zhao Main. Everyone, actually, I can just shout out everyone. They all played really, really well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I wasn't expecting games like this, but I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of it.
Yeah, and we are going to be joined in just a second by one of the UWA members in BMA. He's going to be able to jump onto the desk so we can ask him some questions. What did you think about the series as a whole, Aaron?
I thought it was really good performance coming out of both teams. It was a pity that... hello? BMA?
You have to put a headset on before you can talk to him, otherwise the crowd can't hear him choose. Come on.
Okay. No, but I thought it was a pity that we didn't get to see more than 3 games because I thought both teams showed promise, especially Queensland. But at the end of the day, it was just a good performance coming out of Western Australia.
All right, cool. So welcome to BMA. Mid laner for University of Western Australia. First of all, congratulations. How was the season as an entirety? I mean, did you enjoy playing for your uni club? What was it like?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun, but there wasn't much competition this year. Okay, in previous years, I think there were a lot of Challenger tier players, and they were really tough. I think this year there wasn't as much competition because for some reason people weren't, I don't know, as interested, or they graduated or something like that.
All right, do you want to give a challenge and throw down the gauntlet? I know this is your last year, but should Challenger players be getting involved in this?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think it's really doing something good for your club and your university. It's great to get involved, and I'm sure the prizes will increase in the future as well. So, I think it's a great opportunity, play on stage. I mean, only OPL players really get to do this, right? So, I thought it was a great opportunity.
Yeah, exactly right. And obviously, you have been on the big stage before. You used to play for Envy. You had a couple other teams back in the day as well. What was it like to once again pull on a jersey, get on stage, play hard carry in a couple of the games? It must have been fun.
Yeah, it was definitely really fun. I mean, playing solo queue, the matchmaking is pretty terrible sometimes. So playing with a group of people that you know, it's a type of experience that you can't really get anywhere else. Not even in Flex 5v5 because the matchmaking is bad for that as well. So I think I definitely encourage everyone to play competitive and see what type of experience I can get them.
Well, once again, congratulations on picking up the victory there. However, guys, that is all the time that we have for tonight. It is going to be University of Western Australia picking up the 3-0 win. However, on behalf of everyone here, so myself, the other shoutcasters, the guys that got involved from their university clubs, and the guys behind the scenes in the production room, we'd like to thank you for participating in this university clubs. Get involved in the future, and we'll catch you next time.